Does Chronicle even need an introduction?
Is he good?
Is he good?
I think I've heard of
No,
him.
listen, you use Chronicle. You use Chronicle level to base if you're good or not. That is what you aim to be. You aim to be Chronicle.
Got it.
You have Durkin. Have you heard of Durkin time?
For new live stream.
Insane.
Pretty solid guy for Fnatic in the past. In the meantime,
I see
we
what
got
it's
to check
doing.
in with one of our favorite co-casters. He was hosting the show yesterday. Right now, he's down on the floor with Vitality. D-Gon, what's going on out there?
Hey everyone, I'm here with founder, heartbeat of Vitality. It is Neo at the Vitality booth here at EWC. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me.
It has been such a great journey here in terms of esports. You have a bunch of different titles across the club championship. Last year, you came very close to winning the top there. What are the goals? What have you learned from last year into this year for the club championship?
Definitely, I think we want to give a fair and nice battle to the other contenders, and of course, you know, like there is a big name Falcons, you know, that's won back-to-back.
Might have heard of them.
Of course, they are the biggest favorite of this tournament, and we want to challenge them, especially that we are at home, you know, like, and it feels special to play in front of our home crowd in our city. So I hope that EWC 2026 belongs to Vitality, but let's say that second place can make my life a bit better as well, but I think, let's dream bigger.
What do you hope that all of the Vitalities, the bees that are here, can provide to the players, given the fact that a lot of the time they're playing at the studio? What's the big difference here with the fans?
Oh, I think this is something that we discuss a lot, you know, like most of our players, they are big stage guys, you know, they like to step in, they like to prove themselves in front of this kind of audience, and this is where champions are born and made. And I think it's really important to play in front of this audience, and I'm grateful that we managed to a really short amount of time to construct and build something that's as big as it looks like right now. And yeah, I think it will be definitely one of the key markers for us, because we need overperformance to beat Falcons, and when overperformance, you need probably a 6-man, and 6-man is definitely the audience.
Absolutely. Now, here in Valorant, it was a big overhaul of the roster. You've gone with Pal at the head coach and kind of running this kind of project here. Then you added Sayonara recently. Kind of talk me through these changes here with your Valorant squad, and what are you most excited about for them?
Definitely last year we had big ups because we managed to win the kickoff and we figured it super well at Bangkok. I think it was a bit heartbreaking fashion to lose over there. 1T1 frankly was an amazing winner, and then after this it was more complicated. We know we have some inner fights that created like some tension, and ultimately I had the feeling that the foundation was not sustainable anymore. So we had to get from the really beginning, and I think Pal is probably one of the brilliant minds that we have in the Valorant ecosystem. I think it's probably one of the best coach that Europe have been nourished, and yeah, I think I was starting with this piece, and ultimately, you know, when you have this kind of guy, you want to assemble like a team that is full of ambition. And I had Derke, that was nice starting, and then I had my eyes set on a Wonder Kids named Sayonara, and you know, like Wonder Kids and VYTE, it means something. We had Zen in Rocket League, Zaiwu in Counter-Strike, and I hope that Sayonara can be this type of beast.
Yeah, very stacked with talent across the board. You heard Neo's thoughts on the club championship. Now time to take a listen to the players.
We did the same last year. I think that's something that we try and aim to do. It's really important for us to progress in the club championship.
서로 자랑스럽게 생각해도 된다고 생각을 하고요. 일단은 많은 팀들도 이제 저희랑 같이.
It's as important as any team to place in the club championship. Getting those points is huge for that nice little bonus.
The club championship points are pretty important for 100 Thieves. I know especially last year we tried our best to get as many as we could, and this year we're doing the same.
We already did some part of our job. Our bosses are happy, if I can say, so there is nothing else to say. Vitality as an org, they might be like the first one who actually will secure that championship, like if not like for example Falcons, like it will be super fun to see.
If every team does good in their tournament, it's gonna be good for my VR. We're gonna do our best to get the club championship.
Honestly, I don't know how the rest of the clubs are doing in championship points, but I wish Falcons was, you know, here so then we could deny them. That would be the funniest thing.
Yeah, let's get these Falcons guys off the throne. Let's not have them sitting there for another year in a row. We want to be the team that makes the difference for the rest of the club. That's a privilege. That's something that management have done a fantastic job of really supporting us with and putting us in a position to do. That's the challenge that we're here for. It's time for Vitality. We want to see the fans enjoying that as well. We want to see them coming to get to celebrate this tournament and celebrate our participation in it.
It was a huge thing for Heretics that we just won Valorant. Yeah, it put them like really high in the club championship.
No pressure coming from the organization. Like they believe in us, and we're kind of just believing in ourselves to do well and kind of move forward, progress, and kind of take the same kind of result as what we did last year. We're here to win the club championship.
What's up, guys? We're here at the Vitality booth. Vitality is about to play in their quarterfinals matchup, so we're going to talk to some fans. Let's get in there. All right, joining us here is Tristan and Kashu here, fans of Vitality. How do you feel about today's match against Nongshim Red Force?
I think we're just gonna destroy them. Yeah, it's the same feeling. I think it will be a quick 2-0.
What makes you so excited about Team Vitality? How'd you become a fan?
So it's my brother, so he just introduced me to the esports on CSGO, and I just continue to follow them and just come to be a fan of Vitality.
Kacha, you introduced him. How did you find Vitality?
I'm an esports fan, so I watch not only Valorant, but a lot of games, and mainly Counter-Strike. Then I see Vitality, I become a fan, and I just watch them on every game. So here I'm for Valorant.
It's awesome to hear from the players and the fans, and as you can see, Vitality ready to take the stage as Chronicle and crew are rolling through. They're about to put it on for Europe. We've got Big Time here ready to talk about what's going on today, because as much as Vitality was expected to be here, there were a lot of questions about this team. Nongshim coming in, the only squad representing Pacific, and they could be our Crunchyroll story of the day. So Big Time, talk to me a little bit why you love the South Korean team and what are their expectations from here on out.
The thing is, with the Pacific teams, we expect dominance. We've been on top as a region for the last couple years now. We seem to keep winning these trophies, and it's always looking good internationally. But here at EWC, we just haven't found that success. Not Red Force, the only team to make it out of the groups. And they have had an incredibly up and down year. Started strong, kickoff, undefeated. Santiago, undefeated. They lift that trophy, but then their year dips because they have Danby, the greatest Neon player probably to ever exist, whoever will exist, and he's not on the Neon. They're trying to figure out these roles. They can't figure out the meta. Then EWC qualifiers come around. Guess what they do?
They put Danby on Neon?
Exactly. They put Danby back on the Neon.
Smart.
And what a surprise. They start winning games again.
7th to 8th place with him not on Neon. Top 3 with him on Neon. Is he playing Neon all games today?
I would hope so. If he doesn't play Neon, I will have a problem. Maybe I have to go on stage. Maybe I have to talk to them. You know, maybe I got to intervene here to keep Pacific alive.
So can they win against a team that is not G2?
Yes, they can. It's doable. Is it easy? No. Is it a walk in the park? No. Is it doable? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Big shout out there for our story of the day from Big Time. If it's not going to be just the Neon, Kakuka, how can Nongshim win this?
I think that there's some other stars. I think that Ivy really had very good groups, keeping them alive in the hardest of moments and in the most difficult parts of the match. I think that Extras as well, stepping up. I think that I like the way that Nongshim breathes more when Danby's on the Neon. We were speaking about the reasons why they moved him away. And it's the fact that if you have a player that is that good,
Try
you
karna ek bar.
put him in a situation where it's so easy for him to die at the beginning of the round. But the thing is, like, no one can create the pressure in this space that Danby can create whilst playing playing on the Neon. So it is the most worthy of the sacrifices.
I mean, that's exactly it. He was offered
नोटिफिकेशन
the
वगैरह आता है कि नहीं
self-described
चेक
tank
करें.
of this team. His job is go in and die, soak that util.
Soak up all that utility. Let your teammates frag
Huh?
out. Well, a guy who is also looking to soak and frag out today goes by the name of Yampy. He's been doing it his whole career, and he's right beside Degon. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Yampy of Team Vitality before his match against Nongshim Red Force. Now, RB was the one that you were up against, and RB was like, it's great to see some of the old heads there. Isn't it crazy the fact that you're considered now one of the more veteran players in Valorant?
Yeah, it went super fast, you know, like when I joined the scene, I was probably one of the youngest ones, and now I saw that one of the oldest players was like Boo in this tournament. He was like, and he's like 28 or something, so yeah, it shifted very fast.
Since you pulled Nongshim Red Force as your opponent, did your prep change over the last couple of days, or have you stayed the same?
No, still always the same. We have a very clear system between me and the coaches, basically what everybody does, and we treat every opponent the same, so just normal. Of course, the time was a little bit different because normally in VCT you have like almost 1 week to prep. Now you just have a couple of days, so yeah.
How great is it to now be here in Paris in front of these fans for Vitality who have just shown up here and given you a lot of support?
Yeah, it's always fun, you know, like normally when we play on stages there is not so many fans, so yeah, it just means a lot for the Vitality as an org, so yeah, it's an honor to represent Vitality here.
All right, Yampy, well, good luck today in your match against Nongshim Red Force. We'll send it back to y'all.
Thank you so much.
Awesome stuff there from Yampy. He, of course, will be the IGL in the game. Kukuka, if he is going to lead the lobby, though, in frags, he's done it in his career. What's his best agent?
His best agent? Oh, that's such a funny question because if you ask me, I would say Chamber, and if you know, you know. But seriously, Yampy's played everything.
Yeah.
The Killjoy, the Omen, the Jet. Like, you have to have been here to follow his entire journey. And to me, Yampy is not only about the things that he's done in Valorant, he has an entire career in esports. And for him coming into this tournament, he's one of the players to look at because, yes, in Vitality, there's very heavy shooters. They shoot so heavily that you forget that Yampy is also there, and he's one of the most cerebral and the smartest players that we have in EMEA.
Where does the big brain choose to play? That is the question as we have our map vetoes up and running, and it looks like our first ban will be Fracture removed by Vitality. Lotus is going to be removed by Nongshim. Ascent and Split will be our first 2 maps confirmed. Thoughts coming in here, big time?
So we saw Ascent from Nongshim over in the group stages against Gentlemates, and I think it was a 13-3 against them. Not a strong look on the map for them. Neon isn't a natural fit there at all, so it makes a lot of sense for me to see Vitality target.
It's okay, you can just say Vitality was very smart because Neon is not a good fit for Ascent. You can say it. It's okay if that is also truth. I was surprised because Vitality, of course, have the higher seed because they come in as the 2-0 team, and they decided to be Team A, right? With both of the teams having the possibility to ban that Fracture, they don't care about that. They want to make sure that they get the side select on the last one and probably, you know, I like that kind of mind game. But yeah, I agree with you. Although I will say, for most of the matches that we've seen being incredibly dominant during the group stage, where they're like, oh, this is a weak map for someone, look at what happened to Heretics, what happened with NRG.
True.
Teams have been able to bounce back in maps that weren't good for them.
We have the match ready in 15 seconds. So final predictions. I know you've got them in on EWC Play, but get it on air big time. Where are you going?
Vitality 2-1. I'm sorry.
Vitality 2-1.
2-0. Spain's playing later. We got to get out of here.
Vitality. I represent APAC. Let's send it to the stage for Nongshim to walk away with the upset, shall we?
See इसमें क्या होता है.
Super interesting to play in front of French fans, especially the ones that will be on our side 100%, and also specific to our club as well. Golden Hornets will be probably here, and it will be really funny to see. I think we are being very critical into the way how we play the game. We are always trying to seek improvement, and we are trying not to be stuck into, first of all, in the past. For us, it's always the efficiency mindset. That's something that helps us to play not only good on officials, but also on practices that like we are not setting too much expectations from ourselves. I mean, we are still confident. Without confidence, we will be never here. So for us, it's obviously very important to keep up the confidence and again, just pull through.
패자조 브라켓션을
상위로 그렇게
이제 되기도 하는데 일단 부담스러운 거는 저는 당연하다고 생각을 하고 있고요. 그냥 앞에 있는 남은 3경기를 그냥 무조건 이겨야겠다는 생각밖에 안 할 것 같습니다.
Against Nongshim, I think they might
पानी
start
पूरी
running
भेजा
it
गया
down in some
है
ways, like they will start using their set rounds that are
एक second,
always
एक
working in
second.
terms of punishing some specific play styles or aggressive approaches from other teams,
तो
and that's
क्यों
where
नहीं
we
कर
should be
रहा?
just ready and be countering them in that regard. Nongshim, be ready, we'll really surprise you.
저희 입장에서는 바이탈리티가 유럽의 슈퍼팀이라고 그렇게 부르기도 하거든요. 워낙 멤버들이 다들 경험치가 많은 선수들도 많고 그런 멤버들이 많다 보니까 일단은 그렇게 깊게 생각할 거 필요 없이 일단은 저희가 상대 스타일을 보면서 어떻게든 이겨보려고 계속 생각해내면서 그렇게 이길 것 같습니다.
अगेन कुछ भेजना नोटिफिकेशन अभी आया नहीं तो ऐसे पानी पूरी आया है
Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour à tous, bienvenue à la STC Arena. Quel plaisir de se retrouver pour la deuxième journée de l'Esports World Cup VALORANT. I am Lou, your host, and of course, with Ian Chambers.
It's a pleasure to be here. Salut Paris! What a time it is to be alive in Paris. We've got the Esports World Cup going on, of course. This is day 2 of VALORANT at the STC Arena. And I was out and about on the streets of Paris last night, and it was a good time to be here, that's for sure.
I am very glad that you got a little taste of what it is to be in France, maybe to be French during the World Cup. Parce qu'effectivement, mesdames et messieurs, la France est en demi-finale de la Coupe du Monde.
Allez les Bleus! Of course, there was lots of celebrations here in Paris last night when it came to the football, but here there was heartbreak. There was turmoil. We saw last year's reigning champions, Team Heretics, get crushed out of the tournament. And of course, the hometown favourites, Gentlemates, are out. I'm sorry.
You don't need to make it worse like this, you know, but it is true that we only have one French representative left here in Paris, which is Vitality. Donc effectivement, on a perdu Team Heretics. Il y aura dans tous les cas un nouveau champion de l'EWC cette année et également les Gentlemates, malgré une ambiance de dingue. Ils nous ont quittés. So yeah, let's hope on
the cool and exciting thing about what we've got ahead of us here is that we are guaranteed to have a brand new winner here in Paris, and we are about to welcome our next contender onto the stage.
Un club de FPS de légende, leur équipe VALORANT ne fait pas exception, vous le savez, eux aussi sont là à la maison, c'est Team Vitality.
अब ठीक लगेगा
Black and yellow is about to storm the stage. Here they are, a roster packed with winners, clutch players, and names that we know have what it takes to win.
Top of their group, looking confident, looking crazy. Let's see what the Vitality boys can do today.
And their opponents, Nongshim Red Force.
And they're getting booed while entering the stage, but they have the hopes of Korea, the hopes of an entire continent on their shoulders. Le dernier espoir pour la Corée du Sud, c'est Nongshim Red Force.
Twice they were asked the same question by G2, twice they gave the same answer. Now they step into the quarterfinals as the last Pacific team left, carrying a region, a reset, and a warning for everyone still in the bracket.
It's time to discover which one of their teams has what it takes to take the win on this quarterfinal.
Allez, let's go!
I am loving what we are seeing here on this stage. Excellent camera work from our directors behind the scene, and we are about to see an Emmy nominee-worthy performance by these teams. Nongshim getting booed by the fans, and Kakuka, we were saying, it's so unfair. You boo America, we understand it, but you boo the nicest humans on the planet, the most kind, most well-behaved esports players.
Listen, I think that what Lou was saying on the stage is very important. At the end of the day, Vitality is the only French org left here in Valorant. So, of course, the crowd needs to be by their side. I am sorry, Morgan. I understand. Even you changed your mind and went for Vitality in the end.
That's a prediction. That's not. That's what's in my heart. That's not what I want to happen. I'd love to be wrong today.
Your brain, not your heart.
Exactly. These Nongshim Red Force kids, they have a lot of weight on their shoulders here, carrying not only a region, a whole hemisphere here in the Valorant competition. Doesn't get bigger than this in terms of pressure, but we know that they know how to deliver. We know they know how to lift trophies.
One of the coolest things I've seen from Nongshim is their ability to bounce back. They can get destroyed in the first map and all of a sudden turn the game on its head in map number 2. They don't go down without a fight despite being down huge in rounds. Let's take a look at what they decide to bring out as we get into our agent selection. Vitality about to make their way to their stations. All smiles on the stage for now, Kakuka.
They're excited. Also, having the coach behind the players is such a cool setup that we do not have in EMEA. Between that and being able to bring papers onto the table, like, my heart is definitely here. But as you're saying, let's talk a little bit about Ascent, because we were speaking about the results for Nongshim. Let's talk a little bit about Vitality as well. We saw them play against NRG, but it was just a 16-14 overtime. Testing the waters might have been enough for them, and probably thinking of what you're saying, and then just making Nongshim go to somewhere there where they will be uncomfortable no matter what might be the key for today.
Is that a normal thing in coaching in Valorant? Because in Call of Duty, you normally see people just try and play their best maps. Are you counter-picking more often in Valorant?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely comes up. These coaches are smart. If you see a weakness from a team, it's very easy to go, okay, especially if you feel like you can play it to a decent degree.
Right.
You see weakness, you smell blood in the water, you go for it.
Do you remember yesterday with NRG? I wouldn't blame Gentamates for wanting to go to the maps where Ethan is playing Neon. No shade to Ethan. Absolutely, we're not going there. We're not going there
Small
because
amount of shade.
I would no. If I actually wanted to shade him, I would. But that is not the case. But yeah, I can understand where it's like, oh, we see the weakness, something that we can exploit, and it happens quite often. I think that another one of the jewels that we need to highlight when we talk about the history of this game is Derke and RB. Both of these players have been playing for the longest time, but they haven't been playing against each other
करे जो भी देख रहे हो लाइक करे 11 लाइक हो चुके हैं लेट्स
go
15 लाइक करे दोस्तों
2023 was for EMEA and especially Fnatic.
Yeah, look, we talk about the experience on the side of Vitality. RB is bringing experience in droves to Nongshim. Cast your mind back, he's there on the original Vision Strikers. He's been there since the very start. Oh yeah,
Playing Killjoy, playing Yoru. It really feels like RB has been everywhere.
Here we go. We've got our agent selection in, and I was asking young Sayonara, the 18-year-old stud, what is his favorite? He can play 3 different roles. He said, I love to play the Sova, the Fade. He has more control over the games. Do you expect him to be showcasing that throughout this best of 3?
Well, he's going to have to do it on a Phoenix here today. Much more aggressive from him. To be fair, I like him in this secondary duelist role. I think it lets him really get stuck in the mixer there on the side of Nongshim. This is what we expect from them. It's classic double duelist. Dambi on his signature Neon, but look out for Extros. He has to go toe-to-toe with Sayonara there.
Seeing Derke on the jet, it just brings back memory. We were talking also about Ivy when you see him now playing on the Sentinel. A lot of duelism and a lot of brawling, but control is going to come down to him.
Yeah, for me, I want to put a lot of weight on Chronicle's shoulders here. On the Vice, he has everything he needs to slow down that double duelist in the second half. No verticality there for the side of Nongshim, so he has to really lock down those sides.
I hear you're doubting RB on that verticality.
I was going to say, on the other side, if you are looking at Nongshim, are we liking this composition? It seems pretty old school familiar with the Neon in the mix, though.
Yeah, look, it's very them. They love to do this. For me, I would rather them embrace their own style, understand what works for them. This is not a team that I want to see get too countered, get too in the weeds about the anti-strats, run what won you a trophy.
Game is ready. Our casters are ready to rock for this first one. We've got the beautiful duo. You know them. You love them. It's Mitch and Tom Biz. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, it's always wonderful to hear from you, Puckett. It's good to see him over there on the desktop, but even better to see the Vitality fans in the stadium ready to root their team on up against Nongshim. This is far from an easy matchup.
No, for sure. I think you come in with the Nongshim squad basically going back to what won them Santiago. Like, let's go back to our style. Let's put Dambi into that role where he can just show unmeasurable amounts of flair. And then on the other side, it's the opposite. It's Durka going, I didn't like the Neon, but I'm going back to my Jet now that everything is fixed. Who's right? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But an aggressive start on contact to the cam. The problem is, it was Sayonara to land that first shot. And the trades just didn't come through for the side of Nongshim.
Yeah, they've lost themselves the opening pick. Vitality now happy to run back, play somewhere else on the map, but Nongshim are coming to meet them. The defense exploring mid, finding a lot of bodies there and a lot of bullets flying back in the other direction. It's going to be a 5v1. Ivy needing the start of dreams to even make a dent here.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, I can't say I'm much of a believer in this one. I like the plan initially, just have the cam for contact, flash off the back of it, and try and find the kill in A main. The problem is, they lost every single fight along the way. You can have the right idea, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work. Already, you can see that Sayonara's looking for those additional orbs, taking so much space, and also just the position of Profek. It almost seems like he forgot to leave the spawn. He's just watching. I will say, he's not really favored with a classic from this range, but maybe that won't matter too much. He's done damage, he's found info, and ultimately now will just be the cleanup in the end.
Yeah, of course, he was the one that activated the trip on A that kept Ivy over there as the plant was coming down on the other side, so he didn't want to rotate through. Now when there was likely to be a fight, got his scrap in the end, and, well, all things considered, I think Vitality are going to be pretty happy with how this round went. The first fight goes their way, they group up on mid, they catch the counter push. From there, only lose the one. Easy as can be.
Good job, boys. Yeah, I think a very comfortable win, and obviously we have to look back at what we've seen on this map so far. It was a dominant win for Mates versus Nongshim when they played this map, really struggled over on the attack side, so I think we're definitely looking to see if maybe the defensive side half will work out better for them. Already though, looking for an aggressive contact play. Again, it seems like the goal is have these little set pop flashes ready and then fighting off the back of them. It can be difficult at times to get value from the Phoenix on the defense if you don't have these sort of setups, but that's something that I feel like Vitality are going to have to figure out along the way. And already an opening pick in what is a round with very little to play with. We'll see how much damage Nongshim can do.
And also when you're going into a stack, you're often going to want to have your Phoenix for exactly the reason that Nongshim used him. That counter flash going through the window after Vitality tried to take B main. Now when you push out to a site, you're going to have to rely on perhaps that Vice flash. Make your way through. They're going to group up towards the B side. They've avoided the big danger, at least for now. The stack from Nongshim, the numbers from the pistols, where they really become deadly, but they're on the other side of the map. Just getting out, playing the retake with the squad. 27 HP with a classic. He's not going to get much done if he stood his ground. So I like the adaptation. Chronicle doesn't do as well as he really needs to there. Luckily, that's just the pistol, but from here on out, there is a big chance for Nongshim to make this at least a costly round.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at 3 rifles. Any of them dropped will mean they're not able to be rebought. This is aggressive from Durka, surprisingly aggressive, but has a teammate covering off the angle. Make sure he can get out scot-free. Of course, they also don't want to get locked in. That's the other thing that must be going through the Vitality players' minds. If we sit back, they're going to use the spike against us. So we need to get aggressive. We need to take this space back away. And they actually do an excellent job. That could have been very, very costly for them. Instead, they kill all 4 remaining players. They lose no more of their own. And all the rifles, as you said, they'll be kept through to the next round.
Yeah, this is it. Like you said, it was an aggressive stance that they were going for, Tom, but it was necessary in that moment because, yeah, if you sit back in a 4v3, sure, they're probably not going to get to the site. They're probably not going to defuse the spike, but what they will do is sit outside and wait for you to come rushing out. And then you're either going down to the spike or you've got a pretty uncomfortable fight.
Elias, please don't.
We'll never know. Please don't what? Elias
Please
is
don't
doing
bark.
something. Oh, I doubt he's asking that. Yeah,
I would have been, if anybody is asking it, it's probably Dirk.
I'm counter requesting. But no, that was
no, that's Powell's counter. He's going to take a pause and be like, we actually need more of that.
It was a very promising round from Nongshim though. They're set up to start the round with that flash in main, waiting for contact. As soon as Vitality give it to them, they burst back with a trap of their own. And then at the end, the attempt to play the exits, but as we said, there's potential for it to get costly.
Hello Khatti Toffee, welcome to the stream. अबे इसका ऑप्शन पता है परचेज लेस देन योर ट्रांजैक्शन लिमिट कांटेक्ट योर सर्विस प्रोवाइडर
submarine alarm was sounding, but luckily it was quieted just in time.
It's weird, I don't know what a submarine alarm sounds like.
I've never heard it in person, but I've heard an imitation. And
चाय समोसा भेजा जाए.
You know what? I agree with that. I can imagine it would be. Nonetheless, 2-0. This is where we expect the response. So far, those contact plays have done a little bit of damage. Having the flash ready, but this time it's almost just a double duelist crossfire. Normally, though, when you come into this sort of a bonus round, there's some vulnerabilities for the side that won the first 2 rounds, but for Vitality, that isn't the case. At worst, take flight. They have a Guardian. Okay, they didn't manage to build up any of their ultimates just yet, so that's not going to pad the gap, but you do look at Nongshim and go, okay, this round might be a little bit more difficult than you'd expect.
Well, Vitality retreat from that mid position. I did think this would be an even more difficult round with that split towards the B site, but they're going exploring. And it's dangerous territory, difficult terrain in front of them. Good flash, but X-Ross! He fires back for 2!
मैच नहीं देखा मैच पे पूरा ध्यान रहेगा
Dambi, but X-Ross crossing off names. Well, okay, a 4v3 at least. Yumpy does well to pull that back. That pick could open up the side of the plant. Where the spike is on the other side of the map. There's 8 seconds left.
Becomes a Vitality set. Vitality को जितना अच्छा point मिलेगा.
Certainly no chance left for Vitality.
Guy, it looked like there was an opportunity for recovery, but when there's only 15 seconds left, that kill on the other side of the map was only meant to really be a backstab of rotations. And the other players, after losing that initial fight to X-Ross, just didn't really have an opportunity. This was wonderfully clean. Like, sure, they had an extra stun coming through just moments later, but it really became irrelevant in the end. And you see the reason we talk so much about the double duelist over on that Nongshim side, both of them getting a multi-frag in this round. As said, though, that was the bonus of sorts. And now Vitality are going to come in with another purchase, but a victory here will leave them in a bit more of an awkward scenario.
And Nongshim looking for a mid-fight of their own. Not only the 2 players pushed down, but one on short as well. Paranoia being primed. They're hoping to spot someone on catwalk. If Vitality step in to fill that space, Nongshim will trigger a trap that's looking very deadly, at least for the moment. There it is, but they're a little further back. Able to hide in the corner. In goes the Hot Hands, forced out into the open. And it will be Francis to claim the double. An immediate retreat called by Nongshim as well. Happy with the early skirmish. They'll get out of there with a man advantage.
I love the way they're playing this. It almost reminds me of like an old school Xerxia, where the whole plan is to just have traps. Like you're just waiting with this sort of setup. And you look at teams that run a double duelist, especially on the defense, you go, how are you going to make this work other than just buy an op and hope you can hit a shot? But every single time, even in the rounds they've lost, they've had some sort of setup to give them an advantage.
30 seconds left.
Again, the time now ticking for Vitality. 25 seconds to try and make a move in. Paranoia won't catch anything. Ivy is ready and waiting for the move to be made. That time ticking further down and no trade to be had. It leaves just Prophet remaining. And a stellar hold, a stellar setup. A great round overall from Nongshim.
Yeah, the plan didn't even work as intended, right? With the Paranoia going, nobody pushed up deep on Cat. Vitality in a decent position to be able to tuck in down below. But the hot hands changes things. Francis is there, firing from the side. But it's not just one player. It is the entire setup there.
मेरा वही नहीं रहा ट्रांजैक्शन में लिखता है कि तुम्हारा लेस देन है तुम्हारा कैसे हो गया तुम्हारा अकाउंट में पैसा नहीं है
ready to fire out on the back of it. And how quickly Nongshim
ना अपना UPI ID तो हम करेंगे इसमें
get out of there, cash in the advantages that they've claimed. The same setup that we've seen before from Nongshim. This flash primed and ready. This time Vitality seemed like they knew it was coming. Still, they'll lose one to it. And the ult popped up by Xros. Locks in the advantage. Francis as well. Not expected to be filling in this space. Even when Vitality expect aggression, they don't expect this much aggression.
Especially going up against a low buy round, you might think you'd have a little bit more space, maybe a chance to grab an orb and make this round a bit more interesting, but Yuppie's at least done one.
नहीं आज नहीं है
Hitting heads though.
Playoffs चल
The
रहा है
individual
playoffs
capabilities of this Nongshim roster on show. And
नहीं
there's
जा
no
रहे
real chance for Profit to come out of this round. 3-2. It was a pistol and follow-up for Vitality, but other than that, it has been all Nongshim on this defensive side. And I said, like, when they played against Mates, it was a 3-9 attack that they didn't really get to come back from after they lost the pistol round. But it definitely seems like they have some solid ideas on this defense.
Well, so far it's been nothing but ideas, nothing but setups, nothing but traps that Vitality have to walk into.
Good time for
every
pause.
step of the way. The pause here.
क्या मदद चाहिए
To see who called that one.
तुम बंद कर दिया क्या उस पे ओपन है ना
Normally, I think normally our
उसे बंद कर दिया क्या तुम
settles, that was the thing last year. Settles on the team that called the pause, and right there it was Nongshim. I would be very surprised if they were the ones to take it. Quite possibly. I have no other way to tell, Tom, so that's what I'm going with for now, unless someone wants to let me know.
Yeah, I think that obviously at this case, especially the way the last few rounds have gone, it would make sense for Vitality to take a moment, listening to the coaching staff. I think even the fact that they've been playing these sort of more slow, defaulty rounds, and it's kind of played into the hands of their opponents, allowing them to have these sort of setups. And while for Nongshim, now looking at an opportunity, but Vitality come into this one with pretty much everything they need. They're one off having all 5 ultimates online. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sayonara try and use that running back earlier in the round, but the defenders are not just going to sit pretty. They've got an aggressive attempt of their own.
It's a bloodbath outside B, primed and ready for it. Dambi stuck in the corner as the Hunter's Fury rings out and some damage off of it. Chronicle ends up falling as a result, but Vitality, they've weathered that storm excellently. Still 3 players left alive, the spike under their control, and Nongshim with no idea where the hit will come in. That looked like it was going to be a lot more dangerous. In the end, it's set up for a slower round for this defense. They have no info to fill in, and they decided to just stand here in this high-low setup. It's beautiful work for Nongshim.
Down mid.
Vitality probably assumed there that they would have put the majority of their force towards A site. Not necessarily the A site, but one of them. And instead, just standing in mid, standing on business. The spike has been found. Yumpie's alone in the round. Pretty much a sealed deal at this point. A big clutch needed from the IGL of Vitality.
They're just all sat in a crossfire around
30
that spike
seconds
as
left.
well.
ये तो बड़ा वैल्यू चल रहा है
Too many angles left for him to clear. We need one of them instantly. Okay, there's the first. Second with an opportunity as well. And now running for the hills is Francis. The fact is there is still time. He can cross towards that A site. It's going to be a running race, and it's one that Yumpie will be able to win.
Left.
Especially with the door closed. It's going to take a moment for Francis to break, and that should give him time to plant. Maybe pull the gun up, but not quite enough. Francis just hot enough on his heels. A nice attempt from Yumpie. But the attempt doesn't garner around.
The full sprint from Francis. Lucky he went back to check market. He saw Yumpie crossing. Although here, he kind of hung his teammate out to dry. He's running away during this fight, by the way. They're having a 3-man standoff, and he just legged it to market from having been right around that corner. I bet Ivy had some words to say to him there, but he probably has to bite his tongue because he won the clutch.
A little bit close for comfort. But ultimately, again, it's the early round aggression. And I'm looking at this defensive side, and it doesn't look like they're going to shy away from this at all.
Standing ahead.
3 players in mid, 1 player on shore. The B site currently completely open, only a singular trip in play. And the fact is, the goal of Vitality is to try and contact in and take their weapons away. They're going to take nobody's weapons away because there's nobody there. In fact, they've done a full execute with double ultimates, and because their opponents have completely abandoned the site, I was going to say they got nothing, but Durka gets a spam kill.
Ivy's probably muttering under his breath. That's what she deserved.
The
last round. Well, the hero of the previous has been deleted and dealt with right off rip. Nongshim, a man down on the way through. RB already tagged heavily, sporting some serious scars from that initial fight. And Dambi tries his best to get them into the site, get them some control in main, but with him falling, Nongshim have given up. It's time to fall back and give that 3rd round to Vitality. Yeah, those double ults committed for the site for nothing. But that shot through the smoke changed the game.
Yeah, realistically, it probably would have been the exact same result if there was somebody on the site. Like, you're probably getting a kill, or there's going to be a player with no gun. So I don't think Nongshim could... It must be annoying from them, but for Vitality, it is probably exactly where they expect it to be, with some form of advantage. Even still, though, that opener definitely helped them out. With a little bit of luck going a long way. For Nongshim now, looking to try and find a response. Of course, those ultimates have now faded from Vitality's side. They are also in a similar boat, though. It's only the Blade Storm for Durka that really holds too much of a threat. But will this be where Nongshim quell their aggression a little bit? Because that might change how things go for Vitality. When they've had to hit into the sites quite late, it's definitely been a bit more problematic.
Here on the attack, chipping away bit by bit. It's often what we want to see, that long road to the defensive side, and for Vitality, yeah, it came with the very, very hefty price tag in that previous round, although the ults might not have directly found the round. They had to commit them to get into a site. It felt like they did. Now we move back towards a more grounded round. They move to this B site, looking for the fight, almost punishing that main aggression, but Nongshim, they've got the information and they've been able to dip out. That trap could be a real problem here for Durka if he decides to go for that updraft dash out, but it looks like re-aggression is the name of the game for Nongshim, and they found one.
Yeah, and they've done so much damage as well. They hit Chronicle earlier, but I think Yumpy gets connected on by the spams. And Francis is going back for more. What? He just has no fear. Around the wall he goes. And see you later, Chronicle. You might be a player with 3 trophies to your belt, but Francis doesn't give a damn. And that leaves just 2 remaining once again. 20 seconds. They've had to deal with so much of this aggression. They're getting out of this seems impossible. There's even a paranoia left at 13 seconds on the clock. There is nothing that Vitality can do about this one. And it seems like their pause may have caused a flash in the pan, but we are right back to winning ways for Nongshim.
Yeah, even saving seems to be something that they'll be denied, at least for the first. Yumpy able to tuck in and carry that weapon forward, but that is a big blow for Vitality and the ever-winding road to the defensive side, now looking perilous as Nongshim have responses after responses. Their traps have been good. This one, though, was ridiculous. The reveal and a cloud burst, the re-aggression from Francis, the walk through the wall to shut down Kron. This has been about as clean of a start to the defense as you want, and even though it's 5-3, it feels like Nongshim have a chance to lock away a lot more rounds than this if they keep up this kind of pace.
Well, it's worth mentioning as well that when they were swapping things up and not having Dambi on the Neon, the guy they had on the Neon was Francis. He was the guy that played these more aggressive roles, and you can kind of see why. He's still doing it on Sova. Bro, just swinging into Chronicle like it's absolutely nothing. Well, now, right back into a more standard execute. Durka trying to lead the way, but it's an immediate shutdown. Good trade from Sayonara, but again, it seems like the defenders have come out on top. Dambi even going back through the smoke alone. And he's wiped out too as he does it. It leaves Chronicle. He has a 1v1 on the site. The door has actually been closed behind Ivy, leaving him completely isolated, but now he's bought time for his teammates to rotate in. Nice shot from Chronicle on the first, but Francis not giving him anything. Danby's flank. It's just time being bought. That's all Francis is doing. He's just baiting. He's just baiting for the freest kill of Danby's career, and eventually, even on 5 HP, he'll be there to close out the round. An absolute menace going back and forth through that smoke.
Yeah, Danby started to feel it in the middle of that round.
Yeah.
You could see it. The fact that he hits the stun, and I think when he throws that stun, he knows that probably hasn't hit. He knows that player is probably more than capable of taking the fight. I just don't think he cares. And that's the scary thing. For Nongshim, the traps have been working. They allowed Vitality one since that second round and immediately fought back into it. And that was a round that Vitality dumped all of their ultimates into. And other than that, Nongshim now hitting a point where Francis in the round before, that one there for Danby, it looks like they're having fun.
Oh, they're disrespecting them completely. They're just like, okay, if we can get away with anything until you shut us down, we're just going to continue to do it. In goes Durka, out goes Durka. Danby's just pushed through a smoke and headshot him with the sniper. And well, that was kind of the main crux of the round. That's been one of the major problems so far for Vitality is you have this Jet Phoenix on attack. The Phoenix has gone missing. And the Jet hasn't been getting the openers. And of course, just again, through the smoke goes Francis. He really does have zero fear. He's doing the same thing he did in prior rounds. They're even waiting for him at this point, but it's meaningless. 7-3. The Korean powerhouse are looking right back in their Santiago form.
No, they really are. They came into this event. I guess they don't want to see NRG outlive them, one of the teams that they cut through on that Santiago run in playoffs. All of the other squads, well, they were here. You had Mates, you had G2, you had PaperX. None of them still sticking around for Nongshim. That's telling them we've got a chance to actually take this trophy. And we might even end up facing NRG for it, which will be just fine for them. A record that they're happy to repeat. For Vitality, on the other hand, the trophy's got to be out of their mind at this point. It looks like they're not even competing.
Well, that is the fun thing with Lev not making it to this event through the qualifier. And you go on recency bias, and you should be looking at a team like Nongshim. The fact is, they just had such a poor stage one regionally that you kind of count them out already. But it's almost like they were baiting us. They go, okay, we're going to swap back to, the stuff we were doing back when we won the tournament, and everything just clicks again. Everything starts to look much better. And well, this is already the second tactical pause taken by Vitality in a singular half. Now, don't get me wrong. We saw this when they played versus NRG. The defensive side was by far the better. They struggled to get those attack side rounds. But I do feel like an 8-4 and a 9-3 are fairly different scenarios. And with how things have been going so far, other than a round where they walk into a site that was empty, use 2 ults and headshot someone through a smoke, I don't think any of these rounds have been close.
Yeah, it did start off clean for Vitality in those first 2, but the pistol and follow-up, that's not really the meat and potatoes of the game. For Nongshim, 7 rounds. The Hunter's Fury from Francis. He's found the tag to start with. The third pulse going through as Sayonara hunts him down, but the running back finds nothing. A little bit of space, but a smoke pops up, and that space is all gone. In fact, Danby is using it to walk through, and he'll get Yumpy! Danby is playing one hell of a game. He stunned himself.
He got out.
And he still gets out, well, most of the way.
Oh, well, he got out onto the site, but Durka was there to recover. It seems like Vitality are now just going to try and execute off of this. RB still here. Francis, of course. Where else would he be? Directly into the action. This is such an obscure angle. There's no way they're ready for this, but they are able to trade. Prophet with an impactful double. Finally, some life being seen in Vitality, but they haven't won the round just yet. Ivy is hot on their heels.
It took Danby stunning himself to give them a chance. For Vitality, this can't be one that they let slip. And a double swing locks it in. 4 rounds guaranteed at the half at least. With a pistol round under their belt, you thought it would be a little earlier that we saw that on the board, but
yeah,
it comes in the nick of time again, though.
Look at the HP at the end.
A close round, narrowly surviving for these players, and like I said, This comes off the back of Danby stunning himself. If he doesn't, I don't think they win this round.
Well, that's the 4th round. As said, I think a 7-5 for Vitality, it's not too bad. I think they'll be quite happy going into the defensive half. It's the manner in which we've got here. Nongshim have been in the driver's seat all the way through their defense. And that little bit of additional confidence might completely turn how their attack side goes. Like, they've still got the pieces for a good attack side. It was just that in recent form, that's where they've struggled. But it seems like they're not struggling with a lot so far in this map. Danby for the first time bringing out the operator, a completely different look to what we've seen through this game so far. And no doubt we're seeing the drone used in early positioning. It almost has to be with how aggressive their opponents have been.
They will at least clear that position, but not for long. One smoke goes up, and all of a sudden you think Danby's gone into wine. Instead, he is looking for a pick in mid, finding it as well. Out for more, and it's a bit too much. Ooh, that had been spotted, but RB won the fight. I'm not even sure from where he was. He could have seen Profek before that. Got the jump on him. Despite the info being known of Vitality, 1 man down and Chronicle less than half. It's looking like an 8-4 half.
And of course, the defensive side haven't stopped pushing.
Naturally.
At this point, then you have to know that they could be anywhere, everywhere, all at once. And there we go, easy kill for RB. And this is the thing, you don't know what ground you've gained, you don't know what you've lost, because they have no respect for the positioning that you could have taken. Sayonara at least will be able to get one, but immediately RB is on that flank. He thought about TPing into the site. That would have been manic. Instead, though, his teammates are cleaning up the mess, leaving Yumpy again alone in a clutch. He came close earlier in the game. This time, the spike is ticking in his favor, but he's being slowly surrounded, slowly crunched in on, and needs to find a pick quickly, and he will not be able to. It's RB, the old boy on the Nongshim Force, that have been able to take things home. 8-4, a very good defensive half.
Well, considering they lost the pistol, yeah, this could easily be double digits on the board for Nongshim. And the way that the rifle rounds went.
It could be 12-0.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it could be so much more. This, honestly, Vitality feel lucky to get out of there with 4 rounds, and this isn't the face that I expected to see from this team here today. Again, we talked about this squad. When it comes to international experience, they've got some under their belt now. But they won't have played in front of a crowd like this, a crowd that's rooting for them and them alone. They heard their opponents mount the stage earlier on to a sea of boos. I think their opponents, the decibel level was louder, but there wasn't nobody cheering for them. And yet now they find themselves trailing. That's where you got to dig deep. Perhaps that crowd energy can help out. Speaking of which, let's send this one over to a good friend of mine. That's right, it's Ian Chambers.
Thanks, Mitch. That guy absolutely loves doing an impression of my accent, so thank you. Keep doing it, Mitch. I love it. I'm standing by with a Vitality fan here. What I love about the Esports World Cup, I talk about it all the time, fans travel from all over the world to witness a little piece of esports history. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Sam. I come from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. So you've come a long way to come and see this. How big of a fan of Valorant are you?
I think here is a great place for esports, and it's great for Valorant. I think here is I can enjoy very enjoy it.
Yeah. So you're wearing a Vitality shirt. That did not start too well. How are you feeling about your chances in this matchup?
I trust Chronicle, and I trust Sayonara is the best of the player in the world, I think. So they can win this game.
That's good to hear. I'm sure that they'll be loving to hear that support. When you arrived here, what was your impression? What did you think of the size of the Esports World Cup, the stage here? What do you make of it all?
I think the stage is great, and we have a lot of the players loving Valorant, so I like here very much.
Were you here yesterday in the arena?
No, I'm come from 6th of junior.
Okay, amazing. You think your boys can bring it back?
Yes.
All right, Sam, take a seat. Lovely to meet you. Enjoy the Esports World Cup. Let's get back into the game.
Thank you, Ian Chambers. Now, as we get back into the game, Tom, this is where things start to heat up. For Vitality, they've looked a little bit cold, but now this is their map pick. This is the defensive side that we have so much hope for. And if things don't get off to a good start, even a pistol, I'm going to get worried.
Yeah, I think the fact that both Durka and Sayonara have been having a rough game, especially Sayonara in their last game, ended up with 30 kills for them to come back versus NRG. I think they might need that once again. Nonetheless, it's a good start. Chronicle with the opener. Durka definitely not shying. Well, actually, I was going to say Durka. Yeah, there's a few players not shying away from a fight. There's more defenders in middle than there are attackers. And that's something that gives an opportunity for a fight, but every fight is going just one direction. Maybe the game's not been going great for Vitality, but the Pistols certainly have.
Yeah, it's definitely where they're doing their best work so far. And it was the same starting out the last half. Don't forget, the pistol was dominant. It looked like Vitality came to play, and Nongshim were getting left behind. But things took a turn after round number 2. For Vitality, this represents the way back in. The winding road grows a little less steep if they can connect this next one, especially.
That's what I'm talking about!
And you always know that no matter how far behind you are, man like Yumpy's always going to be getting loud. A round's a round to that guy. Doesn't matter the score.
Okay, interesting. Danby's gone in with the Stinger and Light Shields. Now, I've seen hero buys before, but this is a unique one, and there it goes. Very quickly. Turns out, Light Shields don't save you from an Outlaw. So, unfortunately, that investment will go amiss, and I'm going to be intrigued to see what he now goes into the next round with, because he doesn't have the credits for it. Sayonara even managing to pick off another, and now for RB. Wow. If anything, he just wants to go the other way to make sure the orb he will give up doesn't go to that Phoenix.
Well, an orb being claimed inside main. RB's got a target. And a close range fight as well. Not a bad pickup onto Chronicle. The plant can now be found. A little bit of extra credits, but more particularly, there is now a growing chance. RB's been good so far. I mean, he would have to exceed greatness to even come close, but
it's called Guardian.
That recovered weapon. Well, never mind.
Maybe we should just stop talking about the guns that they have. It seems to be the second you mention a weapon, that's where Durka just immediately eliminates them. So there you go. Could have been a lot worse.
Maybe I'll keep going. Pal has my PayPal.
Ah, okay. I've actually heard he owns that company.
He does.
You need to pay
just
PAL.
a request, yeah. Pay PAL. Well, very important early rounds for Vitality. Connected, the job has been done, but now the difficult task remains. Nongshim come in with a full buy. And thinking about how aggressive Francis and Danby were in that first half, how successful they were with it. Now that they're on the attack, I'm even more scared of what they could put out. Vitality seem to want to scrap towards B main. It's just going to be utility off. No, yeah, Chronicle's thinking about it. They've seen presence now. They won't push in.
He's only got a Stinger. I feel like his utility holds a little bit more value than the gun he has, but it also does mean he needs to get aggressive. And you can see how fast they're expecting their opponents to be. Speaking of fast, one from below, one from above. Ivy's reactions are in another league to anyone else. Waits for the aggression, but this time he's punished by Prophet. Chronicle is going to hear the steps running through. Space taken by Danby, a good opportunity. Nice shot connected by Prophet, but he can't do too much more. He's left a couple very low.
यार लाइट चली गई है ज़्यादा देर.
An inherent
अगर लाइट नहीं है तो फिर कंटिन्यू नहीं कर पाएंगे.
And yeah, it's safe to say they know exactly
बारिश हो
where their
रही
opponents
है
are.
इधर. तेज बारिश हो रही है.
An attempt to spam back. I think that's about all we can amount it to. Oh, Yumpy. Decent chance to pick off a couple of players here. One shot on any of three. Anyone but Francis. But no shots landing for Vitality. That is a big round for Nongshim. As, again, we talk about the pistol. It's a coin flip at best of times. If you lose the second round, we've got bigger problems, although we've seen that here, especially in the first couple of days. But this is Nongshim's chance to keep running away with it. They know that the momentum and the ball is still very much in their court. And the most concerning thing, as I said, is thinking about Danby, how confident he was towards the end, especially of that first half. Now on the attack, he's having a round like that. It's definitely alarm bells for Vitality, but this is a big buy for the defensive side.
Yeah, operator in for Dirk. Sayonara, one away from having his ultimate, although saying that, Exos just got his online. Looks to set them up nicely. Now they need to clear Ivy, because although he didn't have the greatest of first halves, that last round was disgusting. Able to quell the aggression of Vitality.
Spike drop.
Completely solo. But for now at least, a little bit more tempered by Nongshim. It does really seem like they're building up into that Phoenix ult B-site press.
This is what Vitality tried to do. So they're big full buy rounds where they dump their ults. There was no one home. This time it's a different story, but the Thorns waiting, the AWP firing. They slow the push. They pump the brakes. The spike still, it's in the hands of RB. They are going to the B site, but they're in danger. That spike's being dropped towards the stairs. A double invade from Vitality. Wasn't even needed as Chronicle picks up scalp after scalp.
30 seconds left.
Ross and Francis, a lot of work to do, and it's left to just one. As good as he's been, there's no way back into this round.
भाई क्या खेल लिया ये लोग?
Really solid defensive hold from Chronicle there. That was one where as well, it seemed like not only did they get so tunnel visioned in on the Nongshim side, I think either 2 or 3 players got pinged twice by the reveal, which is madness that nobody shot that when it was fired over the top. So that gave all information over to the opponents, but also then when you send through the Phoenix ult, it just activate the wall. Nobody else was through on the other side, so they got staggered.
Nice,
it meant the rotation could come in. Became quite easy for Dirk to make sure that ult didn't go anywhere. And well, with quite a lot thrown into this round, Vitality came out smelling of roses.
Well, that's it. They were very much on standby for this exact play. They had 2 players in the spawn. One sat on site with turtled utility in the form of Chronicle. The second, the spike, makes it over to the stairs, and the rest of the squad is staggered behind because of the wall. Because I don't think it was just the Phoenix ult, right? RB went through as well with the spike. So
I think maybe, yeah.
It's like
you're
you're
TP'd through.
So now the ult fades. You've got one dude in the middle of the open with the spike on his own. And as soon as that falls on stairs, as soon as he walked towards stairs, it's like, this is over. Because Vitality had the rotates in time. They had boots on the ground, right position, and already you can see the timeout was called immediately. The second that one slipped, because there were a lot of mistakes there. The initial execute, the reveal not being shot, the spike being deep on its own, isolated. That can't happen.
I think it's also the context of the last 2 times they played this map. Because it feels like a bit of an early pause, but when you go 3-9, 3-9 on attack sides in back-to-back games, I think the coaching staff very quickly realized that if we're going to get ahead of this, we need to do it early. We don't want to allow this map to slip away after having such a solid half. Dear Lord. Wow, Exros has got a little bit unlucky with that one. A wallbang that has ripped his head off in the first seconds of the round. Well, losing your Phoenix like that.
And it's 9 kar liya.
No, I mean, that's not that bold of a statement, I think. Fantastic work by Vitality early. They found 2 spams, 1 for a kill, 1 for damage, but Danby quick to try and recover. They're taking out the Vice utility, but still on site. Yumpy remains 53 HP, and they know that he's here, but not exactly where. The snake in the grass strikes for at least 1. Can he get another bite into a pound of flesh? He will! RB's caught on the retreat. Yumpy dancing with death, but every step is perfectly placed. Francis, the last man standing, 4 to take down. Yumpy's there from the beginning until the very end for Vitality. They are 1 behind.
That was just good positioning from him throughout the round. Takes a lot of early spam damage, but then there's a lot of spam damage done back in response. The remaining 3 players end up low, but it's more so the molly utilized by Sayonara to give him the freebie. The second he clears RB, the other 2 players are back towards the site, and he's able to isolate some more favorable duels. At that point, if RB turns around, he's trapped on the stairs and there's nowhere to go. So that molly helps him out this one immeasurably, because it gives him a place to hold onto that ground. And then, hey, even cleaning things up towards the end.
Yes, I saw.
We spoke about how this defense from Vitality has been stellar, and the opposite for the opposing side in the attack, but after what we saw in the first half, I was sort of fully on the cards that, okay, this is going to be Nongshim almost running away with this game. But they've stumbled early in this one, and it seems like the momentum now is firmly with Vitality once again.
I've heard this is now Nongshim with another timeout. That's concerning.
That's surprising.
That's back-to-back, no? Is there 2 rounds? That's
Yeah,
back-to-back rounds. As a player, that's one of the worst things that you can hear. You know that there's mistakes being made. You see it. You just lost 2 rounds, and the first one started with a revealed double ping in 3 players. This one, it really feels like the teacher's taking you down to the principal's office at this point. Like, it's time to behave. But for Nongshim,
well, they're still in the lead.
A lead that was, yeah, but that's the thing. Even though you've got that lead with the context of their previous attack sides and double pauses like that, I think the morale is going to need picking up now. Like, that is going to do a number on your mental.
I guess. But it also then, I don't know, maybe I would have waited another one to see how the eco goes, but I guess it must have been a scenario that was worrying enough.
Something's wrong, man. They must have called something in the timeout, and they're not hearing the lessons being applied. They're hearing the same communication issues or whatever it is, the same reactions. Maybe it was RB going towards the smoke there, being caught out by the molly. This attempt to get ahead of Vitality to catch them off guard, even though they've been ahead of the rotates. Whatever it is, it's not a good feeling to have those pauses called back-to-back. You don't... on one side of the stage, for Vitality, they're sat there going, we're not even in the lead and they're panicking. Let's go. This is our game now.
Oh, back to the B site. Eventually, there is going to be the spot, but the fact is there hasn't been any need to move this Vice wall just yet, because it has had value every single round. The TP, I think, has been heard, and then the spike's been dropped on the other side of the wall. RB is the only man standing anywhere near and just stopped going towards Chronicle site. I think that might be the answer. Every time that Vice wall has been there, they haven't even got close.
Yeah, the Vice wall in the way, and Danby's wall very short. It was
hey, that's the average size.
The fast line did not cover very much distance.
That wall
there.
looks massive to me.
Fast lane. Yeah, no, it was huge. Huge. He got off to a flying start. He speeded down the fast lane randomly. And then hit the end of it immediately.
Yeah, I would say that's at least, what, like 5'7"? A little bit.
A little bit more, maybe? 5 or...
That's your
8?
height, right?
Wow. See, I actually thought you were making a 6'7" joke. I thought that's what that was. 5'7" or maybe a little more. I thought I didn't think you were referencing the fact that I'm 5'7" and 3/4. 3/4 is important. That does put it above average.
Okay.
3/4, which is an important thing. Anyways, what is important is speaking about being slightly above the average. The average rounds here, 9. Each team, I've added them up divided by 2. I did that quickly as well.
He's never been rage bait, by the way.
Now this is I chose to go, all right, listen, so double digits is what they're looking for here. For Vitality, defensive side starts out slowly. And for Nongshim on the attack, it's slow as well. They're looking for a little bit of mid-control, looking for a fight. Understandable, they were picked off by shots through walls and spams in the previous round. It was just a low buy, but you don't want this one to slip away in the same fashion. Vitality. Shadows traveling. Not going for any aggression. You know, it's almost like Nongshim are countering themselves. Let's wait for them to push, boys. Well, they're not pushing?
They've got a passive operator play as well. Durka sat back. Danby looking to take the space. That does mean that re-aggression comes in. There's Durka again with that operator. He's able to just deal death from above. Still yet to be taken out, but at least one comes through. Durka with another shot already. His third kill of the round, and he's diving in for more. Durka's taken over this one. You go one side, you meet Chronicle, you go to the other side, you meet Durka, and what Perfect has to close the round, it felt like that could have easily been an ace for Durka. What a round from him.
Oh, him getting the ace only came down to if they wanted to risk him having it. I think I might have just seen him at the end there saying, give it to me. He wanted the ace, but the round comes above all. Double digits now for Vitality, a team that outside of the pistol and follow-up for the majority of the first half, looked deactivated and looked like they had disappeared. Yet now rematerializing right at the finish line, right when their opponents were there. No timeouts anymore for Nongshim. They have to keep rolling with the punches, but every blow is landing for Vitality.
Right here.
Well, yeah, all the players that were missing have now woken up. I think Durka was 7 and 9 in the first half, and he was just diving in head first to get shot, so you kind of understand it. But now, given that operator, he truly is a different beast on this defensive side. Already lead extended. And while you thought that you could dodge Chronicle by going away from that B side, well, now they have swapped the setup. I think realizing that there has been no success towards B, they're going to try to go back to A once again. And already getting completely denied.
Even as the comeback was underway, the crowd was quiet, but I've heard the chants begin. They're starting to believe. They waited for the lead to be taken.
It's an opportunity.
Nongshim losing Francis, losing Ivy. This was the thing. Vitality knew where these players were. You could see it from the get-go. Kron here to finish the deal. Okay, never mind. And instead it's going to be Dirk. Instead it's going to be Sayonara to close it out for Vitality. 11-9 now. The lead stolen from their opponents. 8-4 at the half. Now it's a commanding lead for Vitality. And with the wind in their sails, there's not much more distance to go.
Wow, completely blinded. He still manages to get the kill, and I think then even not knowing that Durka was in that, couple of consolation frags for RB, but this has been a game of two halves, and somehow Vitality are looking like they might be even more dominant than their opponents were. Right back to basics. Faster take towards this A side. Although saying that, 2 players are in, the rest of them are a little bit further behind. They're looking to try and take the weaponry away, and they're just losing fights. This is so disjointed. Finally, though, RB has just managed to strike back with 2. It looked like this was going to be a mess, but he might have just saved them.
Still a Hunter's Fury online for Vitality, but might not get a chance to use it. Nongshim sending numbers in the other direction. They think that the full rotates come in. The spike is going solo towards B main. I have to hope that they are going to delay this a little bit. I have to hope that they don't think that this side is wide open. There's no drone. There's no reveal there for Francis. He's slowing his roll a little bit. He's clearing main. He's being cautious, but they've lost a lot of space. 2 players sat inside A main. Spike outside B, 1 in mid. This is a crazy round from Nongshim. I don't mean crazy in a good way, but it's certainly something that Vitality is finding it hard to predict.
It looked like they were going to late hit towards the A site, but I think they've ended up working out because of the aggression of the defense.
30
the 2 players
left.
caught by RB, and then the third
planted.
after they go looking. And he might just close it. No, never mind. Chronicle's at least been able to pick him off. Now, that Hunter's Fury is still available, but it's finding a position that would bring them value. Maybe as a disruption, or maybe it just won't be utilized at all. 2 players underneath. At balcony, he knows there's at least 1 down there. Chronicle's going to have to be the danger man, though. X-Ross already shooting back at him. Will be able to help his teammate out, and now it's left down to 1. Nongshim have their response. There's definitely a bit of a fisticuffs, brawly style round. But it's a round, and that's all that will matter to them.
Yeah, at this stage, a slip up
would
probably mean letting the map go if Nongshim weren't able to take this one across the line. They do remarkably well, and I think from Vitality's perspective, they still have a timeout if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
But using it would give Nongshim the opportunity to reassess. They'll approach this, just sending the op out for the pick. But the thing is, as time ticks away, Nongshim closing the distance on short. There is now some danger there for Durka. They should be ready for it. Indeed, baiting out the first shot. They'll send him back.
Francis got hit on that. Already a little bit of additional damage. Drone looking to just re-clear any of the ground that they lost. And Prophet has spotted out a player towards long. It might sell a bit of a ruse that they're still going in this direction. Instead, Hunter's Fury, and that was the already tagged up Francis. That's going to be one gone. Timing actually works out for Exros, though. He's able to clear the line, but then Yuppie just swings in and pops 2 heads in an instant. I don't even think he should have expected anyone to be there. Okay. A little bit thicker than expected, maybe, for Chronicle.
No, that was all part of the plan. He's rubbing
show
it
the junk in the trunk.
Exactly.
To bait the opponents.
Blind them with the full moon. It's a brave strategy.
New ability?
30 seconds left.
Radianite malfunction. Well, it looks like 12 on the board for Vitality. 20 seconds, Spike miles away. An ult for RB, and he's moving towards the site. I mean, I think they might get a plan out of this.
I don't even...
Clearing it, he might try it. 10 seconds, he'd have to go now.
Left.
Okay, that's one at least. That's the thing, the rest of the players look like they were just going to be
10-11
holding
plant.
for the retake. Because that spike was dropped by the Hunter's Fury. I don't even think that they know that they don't have it at this point.
He's
so
probably kicking himself now, clearing that back boathouse with 5 seconds going. I could have just planted. What are they doing?
Yeah, but I like it from the Vitality side because they just went. They probably assumed they did have the spike, so they don't expect him to TP.
They assumed he either has it or he's going to use his ult to take it. So,
and then rather than leaving Chronicle half HP alone on the site, they're gonna just retake it as a team. And when you have that much of an advantage, playing it safe makes a lot of sense. And why it does seem like that one chaotic round with RB able to be in the center of a victory might be one of the only rounds they end up with unless Nongshim can get their first streak of rounds. Well, you can see what Profek's doing. He had himself a rifle. Now he's going to hide with a judge in the smoke. The entirety of the opposition waiting on the other side.
Well, there's some tickle damage from Profek, letting his presence be known. Picks up the rifle. Shot landed by Durka, clean onto RB. Paranoia couldn't be better from Profek. And they've seen Danby in the corner, left him on a sliver of health. Now it's only Ivy, 50 up against 5. And a flash coming his way. He's got to run. Dodge it to start with. A kill found, but a formality surely. He has a minute to take down the entirety of Vitality as the home crowd roars. 50 seconds. And then I bet the rest of the squad's already wondering what comp they're running on Split.
Yeah, there's absolutely no hope in this round. The spike still dropped on the other side. It would have to be an error of cataclysmic
30 seconds left.
proportions, although Yumpy's given him 25 seconds. They all know exactly where he is. He now knows exactly where they are, but I think he could have had an educated guess of that anyway, and Durka homed in on the angle. Okay.
Mango
But
lastik
in the end, Vitality will get the job done from a first half that looked like a pretty worrying deficit.
Nice
Their
round.
defense was almost flawless, but for a round for RB. Of course, it is the map choice of Vitality, but now they'll look to head in towards Split and see if they could take this in a 2-0 fashion.
It is a map that Vitality chose, but for Nongshim, it's gotta hurt. Feeling like they had it within their grasp, and yet a magic trick pulled. They opened their palm to find it bare, stepping in to the rest of this series without a map. A reverse sweep needed for Nongshim. Vitality have stepped up in a big way, feeding off that energy from the crowd. And now, one of the next two will be enough to send Nongshim home. With how this started, that's a damn sight better than what it looked like this day would end as. For now though, folks, that is all the time we've got on the caster desk. Let's send this over to my pal, Bucket.
Into the breakdown here, we welcome in Athena at big time to the studio. And Athena, I want to start with you. 8-4, Nongshim on defense is making a statement. They silenced this crowd out of the gates. How did they get the early lead?
It's crazy because they looked so good on that defensive side. They were really proactive, making sure they're going for a lot of these fights and setting themselves up for success. I think, Morgan, you talked a little bit about something in the green room, something about trap.
Yeah, I feel like the defensive game plan here from Nongshim was rock solid. We've got some replays we can take a look through in just a little bit, but it reminded me a lot of what Leviathan were doing over in London. I think they had a great blueprint, great game plan. Then you get onto that second half and they just can't attack. Durka gets the op rolling. Chronicles there with the Vice Util in the perfect places, and Nongshim just begin to struggle. They rely so much on pace, and when they get stopped, that mid-rounding just doesn't seem to be there.
I gotta say, Francis, maybe my favorite player on that stage, always poking out on the defense. Didn't work so well on the attack, but let's take a look at where it was working on the defense. Nongshim had a plan. It is to lay the traps, and it was working perfectly. Walk me through some great examples.
Yeah, this was a really nice mid trap here. You can see that setup doubled up towards mid. They knew that Vitality were walking up. That flash and the paranoia combo trapping them in that corner. They also threw that molly for them.
Yeah, I love this because I feel like they fight Vitality ahead of the game. They don't let Vitality attack into them. They take the game upon themselves. I feel like they did an amazing job of this throughout the defender half. This is another fantastic example of a little B main refight with that recon double swing. It's so perfect because it just disrupts the tempo. It stops Vitality from getting their own double duelist rolling. So I was very impressed there. I was feeling very happy. I was feeling very optimistic.
Very happy.
And then the side swap happened, and now I'm angry. Now I'm sat here annoyed.
Let's talk a little bit about where Vitality flipped the script. Was it purely Durka? Was it a team effort? What did you see? Because the attack was a total different story. 9-2 in the second half, Athena.
I think it was definitely a team effort, but Durka was one of the main reasons, because once he picked that operator, it was almost over. They were so proactive. When you look even on their pistol side, they just pushed all the way down mid with Sheriffs, and it actually worked out in their favor. But then overall, just pushing, being aggressive on their attack side, it's been really good, but they just moved onto that defense and had so much more map control. And this hold here, Durka with the 3K, just shutting down so much of these entries. It seemed like Nongshim didn't have a choice.
He's a fantastic player with the operator. We all know it, but I also think he gets so much impact even when he isn't the one landing these kills. Think about the amount of times he's getting aggressive in the mains, and he just baits out a lot of the utility that Nongshim have. Running double duelist, you're not drowning in util. You need every single piece of it. So he's having huge impact, even if it's not him getting the kills. So very, very impressed by him. Credit to the coaching staff as well. This defender side game plan to disrupt and destroy a double duelist was rock solid.
For those who are tuning into EWC and Valorant for the first time, who is Durka and how deep is this man into his career, Athena?
Oh my God, he is the GOAT. I think he's won what is it? He's won a Masters before. Him and Chronicle, oh my God, I can't speak. With Fnatic, they've won before as well. And they've just been phenomenal. Durka, though, he's been such a good player. Getting into that duelist role, he's been super aggressive for his team. He's been playing for at least 5 years at this point, I'm gonna say, like beginning of Valorant type beat, and he's just been so good and had such a full career.
Well, the real question I have for both of you is, why did you predict Durka to lose? If we take a look at your EWC play predictions, I have the tablet here. I've got all of the statistics, and you guys are 0 for 2 after yesterday.
There is no way.
0 for 1 in maps to start the day.
This is gaslight. Wait, did Degon select Nongshim 2-0?
He selected, let's scroll down.
No, we
Nongshim
specifically
2-0, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that right side of the screen. MIBR 2-0, Nongshim 2-0.
He just picked the opposite of what we said.
Yesterday, they went Gentlemates and Heretics. You guys are 0 for 4 potentially.
Someone find Degon in this arena. Strong words.
He's actually scammed us. This is called gaslighting.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
Wow.
Reminder, guys, you can get on EWC Play as well. It's on the Esports World Cup website. You can check out not just Valorant, all of the games, including Fatal Fury and more, as this is week 1, and we are very much in the thick of the games. Before we kick off this game number 2, we're going to see Nongshim on the defense. It is an attack chosen once again by Vitality. Does Nongshim have an advantage on their map pick?
I think they'll be feeling great about this. Split is always a good map for them.
Game is ready. Let's go to the casters.
नहीं चल रहा है क्यों? एक सेकेंड आ रहा है.
Valorant has exploded into a global phenomenon.
Spike planted.
16 teams vied for the crown, but now only one will take it.
Watch their dreams shatter before them.
Welcome to the Lenovo Legion stage. I'm joined with SVG to give us a bit of an update on what's going on over here at Dota 2.
A very interesting group stage so far. We are seeing a return to dominance for a lot of the European squads.
All right.
You know, they had a little bit of a mixed year, but now they're topping the group 1s and 2s, dropping barely any games here. We have Falcons dominant as ever.
Classic.
They really want the win in Dota, because if they get the win in Dota, then it's like smooth sailing for that club championship. But I think they're gonna have some tough competition. Aurora look really good. Spirit looked pretty good, and a fan favorite, Enigma Galaxy, back this year. They are back.
That's good to hear, but do you have your own favorite in terms of a Dota 2 champion that we're going to be crowning here?
Well, the comms in the backstage are that Yandex are our favorite right now, and I think they do look really solid. They have very smart players. I think that tends to like give you the edge in Dota. You know?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, if you're smart. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's a smart person game. You got to get those brains working. So I'm big on Yandex, but I do like Enigma Galaxy. And one of my old boys, Sumail, on it. They're cooking. They're in form. Good vibes. I'm rooting for them.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for the check-in.
Yeah,
That's
you.
it from us. Back to you guys.
RM रुकिए
Welcome to the Spike site. We've got 45 seconds on the clock and a lot of tasks to do. Yumpy and Profek are going to be taking turns, and whoever's still doing a task, when the timer hits 0, loses. It's best of 3. Are you ready?
No.
Yes. I'll take your answer.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question to decide who goes first. Okay. Gentlemen, how tall is the Eiffel Tower in EWC Club Championship trophies?
I would say like 450.
So I can just use ChatGPT, right? Why do I have to attend your workshop?
See, that's the biggest misconception.
50.
Stack 10 coins into sync.
Is that 11?
1-0.
I mean, again.
Okay.
Continue.
Draw. 6, 7.
Put your timer. Okay. The adjudicator's coming in.
Please.
10.
Nice.
Your next card, your next task. You want to get this to 2 meters. You're not allowed to attach it to anything. It has to be just like this.
In this like straight line, yeah?
But without breaking. Go.
Oh, he's not using me.
Oh. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I lost.
Yes.
No.
That's that one out of the way.
1-0
to Yumpy.
Oh yeah, it's best of 3. Tila banana.
What the hell? Let's move on to the next one. Perfect.
Right, Valorant, mirror it on whiteboard. Nice, David. Good job.
I think we have to give it to him.
Yeah, I give it that. That's a good job.
I thought.
Yeah.
Thinking outside the box, bro. I love it. Okay.
I did Insta. So if you're gonna waste time, I'm gonna leave the room. Of course I did Insta. Yeah, but like I'm saying distance, right? Of course I did Insta. There is no... Okay, let's go. Next. Fold a piece of paper into paper and send it across the room. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is a good technique. This is not bad. I mean, it is bad, but it's not. Is that across the room?
No chance. I mean,
there could have been a gust of wind. So
exactly.
For safety, one more throw. If you make it off the white, then it counts. Come on. No.
Hey! Yes, I didn't make it still.
I think you're going to have to fold another one, my friend.
Yeah.
7, 6, 5.
Yes, there is no, I got point. There is no chance. Yes. 1-1. We just make the game exciting.
Are you ready for your next question? How tall is the Eiffel Tower if measured in marshals?
Yeah. 250 is good, yes. I would say 190.
The answer is 214.21. 190 takes the cake. Okay, Yumpy, you're going first. Please draw your card.
Win a tumbler against the opponent.
This is good. Okay, I'll press the button here, gentlemen. I'll be the adjudicator. Please prepare for the thumb war. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yes.
Go.
Yeah, win it 10. Nice, he won.
You gotta keep going till he wins. 22 seconds.
Now I won.
Okay, I'll give it to you. It's close enough. Do 10 laps around your opponent. You gotta run. Yumpy, could you stand here for me? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go. 1, 2. No, 1, 2.
No, that's 3. 4.
Okay. 5. 6. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3.
I did 10.
1. 2 seconds left on the clock.
What you on? I was in the bar, like the Irish bar.
Flip a bottle. Jumpy, you have a chance here. You have it. You could have got search for
Finally,
something.
light
Kill the
out,
garlic, but you got flip a bottle. 2 seconds. 1 chance, maybe 2. Are you ready? I'll hit the button for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Yes! Gentlemen, it was a good game. Oh, it was a fair game. But it wasn't a friendly game. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here today. It has been a lot of fun. I hope
for me.
I hope we haven't caused too much strife in your team. I'm guys very happy to be our victor. Thanks very much for watching, folks. I'll let you guys go.
The body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
It's a nice block from Starso. I don't know if he has time for this one though, Kev. It's going to be very close. Oh, that is unbelievable. Also,
Welcome back. We are live from Paris, and we are in your quarterfinals of Valorant here at EWC 2026. You can see our players getting ready to rock as Vitality was able to steal our first map. It is now Nongshim's map choice. Athena, as we get into the agent selection, where are we playing, and what kind of agents are good on this map?
We're going to be playing into Split, and both these teams have had a history of playing that double duelist meta. It's worked well for both these teams. I'm really interested to see this map. If Nongshim, they've prepared a little bit more on those trap plays because it was working really well for them on Ascent. And I'm just interested to see if they're just going to keep those same comps because honestly, both these teams are pretty consistently doing well on a map like Split, both above that 50% win rate, so it feels pretty good going into it. Just interested to see what they're going to do.
Right now they're proving it in front of this live audience big time though. Is there a regional difference in play style?
Look, Pacific has always been known as the aggressive region. They were playing double duelist before it was cool, before the rest of the world got on the train. Same with these Nongshim guys. They love it. They love to be fast. They love to be aggressive. That's how we coin it over here in Pacific. And when we take a look at the agents, like nothing different on the side of Nongshim here. It's that pattern that double duelist.
Yeah, what do you think of this guy? I'm curious because I have my own personal thoughts, but I want to hear yours first.
I like the Sky if you're a very strong, capable mid-rounder. It gives you a lot of information. You also have that drone to work with in the dog. So I think if you can understand how to use that information correctly, you want to play with pace, you can support your duelist quite well. I don't hate it.
You ready for a bold prediction? Sayonara flexing to RYZEN is going to lead the lobby.
I respect.
That's very valid.
His raise is good.
That's a very valid.
His raise is good. I see an argument, but let me one up you. He's not going to lead the lobby because Xross is going to lead the lobby.
Xross!
We're
going to a game 3?
You think we're not going to a game 3 here in Paris?
Agents are locked in, as are our casters. Let's get into game number 2.
I'm getting real sick of hearing this big time, guys. A lot of smack every time there's an EMEA team up for discussion. I'm keeping tabs on you, Morgan. It's time to get into the game, baby. Nongshim versus Vitality. It was certainly a sad first map for big time. Watching that from the sidelines, it looked like Nongshim had the read on Vitality, but the second half was a completely different game. Now 1-0. Does Vitality step in?
कब आएगा तू ये बता?
Tyler is better.
007 भी तो खेलना है.
But nonetheless, into the pistol we go. 4 players ready and waiting from the defensive side. Right place, right time.
भाई कितना ये लोग पेशेंस से खेलता है. हम लोग अंधा कूद जाते हैं. इतना होल्ड.
Getting the bucket seal of approval, which obviously means a lot. And the defense already on a mass rotation back to the other side of the map. But you can see the attack have left themselves an implant. They have put Chronicle in place, but he doesn't manage to catch the rotator.
Makes sense that he'd like Raze. Reminds him of the Call of Duty days, but this is where X-Ross's duty calls to him, delivering in a big way, a double under his belt already. Sayonara and Profek left very low indeed. And a spam from RB is enough to take the ladder. Now,
30 seconds left.
Big task for Chronicle and Sio, one of which holding on for dear life, and the other's just being delivered to the afterlife. It's 1-0. Nongshim in with a convincing pistol.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like Morgan might have got something right. X-Ross off to a flyer.
I wouldn't get ahead of
yourself
just yet.
Already for the Phoenix. And that's the thing. That's the difference between these two. Like, having that additional option for flashes. Doesn't need it on the initiator quite as much, but also if he can keep farming up that Phoenix ultimate, definitely make things that little bit more awkward for the attack side. Of course, we've seen this already in the previous map from Vitality, the struggles that they can have on the attack side. This map's normally a little better. That double dive can cause problems. And actually, well, it looked like Durka for a second. Was
Pani
dive in
puri
alone,
hai.
the tap of the orb,
Pani puri.
almost loses him his life. He's managed to get quite far.
Now I'm getting a little bit nervous. RB is going to be nearsighted as well, trading at the paranoia, but the swing onto the back. Not as clean as it could be, yet still, it's even trades for the side of Vitality. About as good a start as they could hope for. That was the pick they needed, though. That was the pick that would have gotten the spike to a site. Now instead they're trailing behind. Dambi's filled in the space. He's caught the spike. And it looks like Nongshim have stabilized. It wasn't even the fear of losing the round. It was the fear of this becoming more and more costly. But Dambi put that fear to rest.
Yeah, I think that's a singular weapon dropped, which still maybe a little bit more cost than they'd like, but definitely not the end of the world. And especially with Durka able to walk in and get 2 kills. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous for them, but in the end, it comes out quite comfortable. And while looking back to the last couple of games versus G2 and GE, it was 8-4 defensive sides for Nongshim that set them up for success. On the other side of things, the last time that we saw Vitality play this map was versus Leviathan, where they got blasted 13-4. So maybe a few learnings to take away from that matchup. But the time before that, it was a strong attack side half. So arguably both teams starting on their favored side to this map. So this round may end up being quite important for Vitality.
Well, it should do. The early starts what kept that first map alive. Nongshim. The weaknesses aren't really that present. Like you said, the bandit for RB, one of the weaker fronts. The lack of information later into the round. X-Ross goes looking, even uses the hot hands in the corners, desperately wanting that damage, and Dambi is ready to pounce on the back of it. I mean, they've spotted now 2 players outside this A side. For a moment, I thought Nongshim were rotating. I saw X-Ross leave Heaven, move towards the spawn.
30 seconds
I thought,
left.
it looks like they've made the wrong read. They think that it's going back in the other direction, but no, they were just taking more passive positions. So these rifles can catch them on the way through the choke point with 20 seconds left. All they have to do is be an annoyance and run this clock down. They have the right players in the right spots, but that pick onto Dambi might just have reset it. X-Ross only good for the 1, but 8 seconds and a plant needing to be found. RB desperately trying to deny it, but they've kept it into a 3v2 at the very least. Until that pick.
Makes it interesting, but still, Ivy already has retrieved a rifle. And again, he's going to find one off the back of it. Leaves it down to Yumpy. This would have been far more than a bonus round. Ivy with the chance to give them a 3-0 start and steal it away. It seems like Yumpy started to clock on to where his opponent will be coming from. And the IGL will clutch out the round. But it's a little bit worrying that they even needed that clutch to begin with.
Yeah, I heard a deep sigh from Big Time backstage, but there's no need to be deflated. That was a big round for Nongshim. Making it that close, giving that much of a chance for this to go across the line. Bloody impressive. Considering the Vitality squad break into that site and immediately deal with Dambi. But a plant found with one man alive, Vitality find their first round of the board. Now, it gets a bit more difficult. This time, Nongshim are fully armed, and Profek is being blindsided by RB.
Yeah, you almost have to be a bit frustrated if you're Profek in that moment. Look at the corner that he died in. You kind of hope that your teammates might have you covered from that sort of an aggressive swing coming out from the defensive side, but the flash was just good enough that they were all blinded on the other side. It's still a bit worrying, but hey, great work from the side of Nongshim early on. And if RB is going to have a similar performance to what we saw on the last map, we might be seeing a third one after all.
It's those defensive setups as well, rearing their ugly head back from Ascent. That was the problem that Vitality ran into and really struggled to crack the code up. Big fight up in heaven, at least the trade there. Now Vitality pick up the pace towards the site. They know they want to have a fight for at least a moment. But Francis still needs to be rooted out from that site. X-Ross's ultimate dealt with. Francis taking a tag. He's still standing his ground. He looked unfazed, but
30 seconds left.
now the showstopper should send the rest scurrying. Man advantage, possibly even off the back of it. It was Durka to deliver 3. RB all alone with the same task at hand.
It looked like this was another stellar round in the early, but the recovery has looked good. RB with the chance for a freebie, but he's looking for a little bit more. He's hoping that Sayonara never looks up, just keeping an eye on him constantly. There's the jump down. Allows him to cross towards the site. Smoke on towards the spike as well, just to create some danger that the opponents have to deal with. Already looking for the harp, and he's so desperately low, and Yumpy was quick to hand. A huge round from Durka, almost using that showstopper as a distraction. But his triple is what gives them an even score.
Oh yeah, he saved the day on the Heaven fight. On to Dambi. I mean, the second one, oh yeah, no, the showstopper did go too far. So yeah, that wasn't, I thought he got the kill ahead of the rocket, but no.
No.
He got the kill instead of the rocket.
No, the rocket was not close.
That was actually much further than it looked when he was clicking on my screen, but a little flick of the wrist, unlucky. 2-2. Vitality now face off against Pistols. Their reward starts out with an easy pickup from Durka and a spray onto the wall. An excitement. Well, then I see him step really close to a smoke versus an eco with an outlaw, and I'll be honest, I start to get a little bit worried, but I'm sure he won't go much further than this.
It is Durka, a chance to farm, and already another one picked up. The trap play, looking to try and put the pressure on, but he has the support of Sayonara. The last showstopper might have ended up as a fake flash, but if he can build up to the next one in quick succession, he's not going to worry too much. A flawless round. And although this is not the most damning of starts for Nongshim, the thing that worries me is how Durka is playing. Because you mentioned that was aggressive, that was hyper aggressive. But think back to that last map. A 7-9 first half. He starts popping off, ends the second half 12-3. Like, genuinely was just farming. Now we're seeing that on the attack side as well. That's scary.
Because rounds like that, they're the kind of thing that will probably make your coaching staff very nervous. Like, those are skill check rounds. And if you miss the skill check, things go very, very badly, very quickly. Sayo's a little late getting the kill. They hit a headshot with a sheriff onto him. There's a rifle there. You've got an outlaw stuck in the corner. Probably 2 picks and 2 big weapons picked up. I do. It kind of frustrates me when it works.
Gotta keep getting away with this.
When you've got the players who can take those risks and it pays off the majority of the time, and if you don't get Durka hitting the shot, you've got someone like Sayonara to pick up the pieces, then yeah, sometimes you can play a looser game just because you can back it up. You don't want to see every team do it, but for Vitality, they might need a risk here in the 4v4, but X-Ross is the one surrounded and looking the wrong way in heavy traffic.
No idea. He has absolutely no idea how much ground has been taken, and it seems like he's falling into 1v1 picks. The TP was stopped. I don't think Sayonara realized that RB dare stick that TP as well. I thought for a second he was going to be just some sort of cloak and dagger that managed to sneak his way through the rounds, but eventually he's dealt with.
That looked like he was invisible for a moment there. There's 2 team, 1 ultimate taken, no one pays any mind, and then he TPs on the site, fires 3 bullets, and they're still looking the other way. What the hell? Well, as much as he might have gotten a few chances, none capitalized on. And for Vitality, this is a fantastic round. The ability to walk up behind like that in heaven, crunch on an X-Ross who, yeah, he looked there a moment ago, and he looked there a moment too late. But he left the gap, and that gap was filled in by Vitality immediately. That doesn't feel nice from the side of Nongshim. A round loss like that, well, no surprise to see a timeout.
Yeah, I think we're already starting to get the alarm bells that happened on Ascent.
Back-to-back rounds there.
This is now your map choice. The defender side is where they've done their best work over the last couple of maps, and you can see that a lot of these almost feel like it's momentum. Like you're having Durka get more and more aggressive. That was him running through B Heaven with a Blade Storm, getting an opener. And although you look at that one-for-one trade and you go, well, yeah, that didn't matter that much. It's the space they got. Like everybody else had to almost fall back in fear and even pull rotations. And in the meantime, the rest of the attackers go through vents and backstab your Phoenix. Like that's too much ground being lost. And this is, of course, now elimination on the line. The playoff bracket here at EWC is a brutal one. It is one and done. No second chances. You lose here, you are out.
You mean you lose in the series, but it's very relevant for the map for Nongshim. They've made their mistake. They have faltered already. There is no more room for failure on that defensive side. 4-2. And Nongshim starting with pistols means already a healthy amount of rounds likely online for Vitality. That said, Nongshim have done some work in rounds like this. A Nightfall there if needed for retakes, but they will need an upper hand to be claimed before they think about putting that through. At least I'd imagine so.
Yeah, you never quite know with Nongshim, but I do agree. Already contact into middle. Happy being left with a gap, trying to set him up to thrive. The flash has left him blinded.
I do like their attempt to pre-fire on the Prowler with the Marshal. That was nice and relatively close.
Time to hunt. 30
you find nothing with that. Vitality fill in that mid space, take it for free. Now what do you rely on? Well, the reposition of the Marshal. A good tag. That was a collateral tag as well. Makes it much easier for the rest of the squad to finish off these kills. X-Ross straight in with a headshot. Another delivered on the Sheriff. And they're hungry for more. X-Ross! He's got 3 under his belt. 6 seconds left. The plant needs to be started now. There's no time to delay. It has to be stuck, and X-Ross has won the round alone.
Oh, really impressive stuff. The Nightfall helping out towards the end, but it was the couple that he got. Catching Sayonara at the spike just seemed to put this round into turmoil. A domino effect that forced them into the fights of this man once again, and he just was not missing. It took the final man on Vitality to take him down, and by that point, the round was already won. A huge step up as well. You can see the excitement from his teammates. 4-3. A breakback, a response, a huge boost to the economy, and while a man who was terrorizing them early dealt with, and so is Profek.
I like the pace from Vitality. They want to get right into Nongshim's face. They lost the round. They want to get right back on the horse. The Nongshim, they stand and greet them in every single battle, bar one. They come out with a flawless victory. That is huge from Nongshim. You win one round, it's a flash in the pan, but then you shut them down immediately right after, and the pressure is on to Vitality all of a sudden.
Yeah, oh, it looked like there was a world where the momentum of the last map, the streak of rounds from the attack was just going to give them an immense half, and then some individual brilliance from X-Ross, and Nongshim are right back in the game again. This time the operator in the hands of Francis, so expectation is that maybe Danby will look to try and challenge the walk-up, the paranoia setup. We've already seen Profek get caught by this before. In fact, in the exact same corner he was standing in. If there's any sound made, any movement on that side, he may just be dead to rights.
You can see Danby is certainly on his marks and ready to go. All they need is that sound cue. In goes the Tiger. Clearing out mids. Nobody there. They're starting to wonder what the plan could be. Now a player shot that reveal. I'm surprised to not see the paranoia go through. Profek moves to a safer position. He can get out now. He's no longer trapped. If Nongshim pulled the trigger on this execute, but it's all off of Francis's contact. They want these players to already be deep before the paranoia hits. But Profek, he's seen these games before, but he won't win them this time either. Vitality, they thought they dealt with the aggression after seeing one, but again, Nongshim double, triple down, and Vitality are caught off.
I love the traps that they set. And I love the patience as well. Like we sort of set this team up that they're like, they are the aggressive team. And at times they are. At times it looks like they do just run it down into their opponents. But this was timed. We mentioned it. After someone shoots that reveal, you go, you could have done it then. But they were waiting for more than just a singular player. And although Profek deals with the initial aggression, it's the re-push that ends up catching Vitality off guard. Fantastic round from the defensive side of Nongshim. And while from 4 rounds lost in a row, they now find themselves in the lead.
They're playing this game like it's Mousetrap. Every step that's taken by Vitality risks them being caught in a cage they couldn't even see moments ago. For Nongshim, the defensive side especially, it has something special to it. Looks like such an annoyance to play against. And that's in the structure of how they set up the buy rounds. Then you have what started this streak being X-Ross getting a 4K with the Sheriff and winning off of time. I think they might have won off of the kills in the end, but it literally didn't matter. It was already done from that man. The work off of his back as players brushed off him like water off of ducks. It was ridiculous to see them play like that. And then they leaned towards trap setups. Before that, it was Vitality running at them in the round right after they won it with the Sheriff. And they dealt with the full frontal aggression. You play slow, there's traps. You play fast, they're ready. You break against the cliffs like the waves. Nongshim stand tall now in the lead, 5-4. This has been a fantastic resurgence from the squad.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things was just shutting down Durka. We said it looked like he was building into that attack side, and it might just be one of those maps where he absolutely dominates. We've seen it many a times. He's been doing it for years. For the last few rounds, he's managed to get absolutely nothing. They've walked into the traps. And now the question is, how do Vitality react? Because you've tried the fast-paced hit, and you've been met by a Danby operator. You've tried the slow round, the default, the push into mid and then fall back to B, and you've walked directly into a trap. Where do you believe that the gap can be found? And you could see the early patience, because especially go back to the last map, normally once they took a pause, Nongshim went for this crazy aggressive ultimate-based round that ended up just blasting them out of the server. So they're just sitting, waiting for now. But if anything, with this operator just honed in on the angle, they're almost playing into their opponent's hands.
It depends on the push itself. Sky's on the rotate over. But Yumpy out of flashes for the time being. It means they go in blind. A Cloudburst not providing enough cover. A deep showstopper not landing. And an ultimate pop by X-Ross. He keeps control of mid for a moment, then slides into the site, but there's nothing left to do. RB ran into the smoke. He's a madman. But Francis is there to carry them across the line. Another very successful round for Nongshim, and it looks like Vitality are out of ideas.
Yeah, they are just, they've gone for basically the same play again, like having this early slow default, thinking, okay, they're not going to have the same trap in back-to-back rounds. Instead, though, it's different. You have the contact set up. They then try to burst through with a showstopper, but you just have these players constantly re-aggressing. RB having no fear whatsoever. And then Francis doing exactly the same thing. The second you think you might have a respite with Nongshim, you are wrong. And what, 6-4. 4 rounds in a row now for the defensive side, directly after a pause was taken for Vitality. Again, we start to look towards the French organization, the EMEA squad that maybe has the most hopes of challenging for that title. And it's the same again. Danby with a crispy opener and gets rid of Sayonara.
Opening मिल चुका है.
It's got to be frustrating to run into him no matter where they go. Now he runs into them, but Dirk is there to meet him. The Marshall.
बढ़िया प्ले ऑपरेटर को दिख रहा है कम से कम.
Given a chance perhaps to Vitality still. There's so many players here on the rotate. Ivy not caught by either flashes. Primed for that push out and he's catching them all. It's Ivy with 3 that quells any hope from Vitality in this round. They remain on 4, while Nongshim now have a chance for an 8-4 half.
Yeah, I think when we were sat there with them 4-2 down and they took a pause, I wasn't massively believing they'd be able to turn it into maybe even a half victory. But now they're potentially going to walk in with an incredibly comfortable one. I don't know what was said by the coaching staff, but evidently it's worked out. And sure, I think credit needs to be given to Ekros, that spark, that flame that seemed to just turn them around. I think it was Danby just screaming his heart out the second that they won that round. And he's now been devastating ever since, but this round was all about Ivy. An ultimate even committed in the last round in the form of the Seekers. The round before they used a showstopper, both to no effect. Not even space was taken in that moment. And now you look at the defense, they haven't had to use their ultimates. They have 4 ready for this round.
Big pick up by Durka. It was him the majority of the time being picked off right away by that operator.
He thought about sticking that.
He did. I thought he was going to stick it as well, and I thought no one was going to see it, but I think he's avoided death with that cancellation. The Viper's Pit's going to cause issues. Getting in and planting, an impossibility without a serious fight, and before at least those players had filled in the space. What? He just spammed through the pit to take down RB. Now Durkas got
Viper,
but they don't know about Extras! He was in that pit, hiding, waiting, biding his time!
क्या clutch क्या?
He takes that burden from his team and carries them to 8-4 at the half.
Just me. My God, that was an insane round from him once again. He's had most of his kills in 2 rounds, but those 2 rounds have been some of the best rounds I've ever seen in my life. I thought the moment that pit dropped, he was in trouble. It turned out that was their safety net, not being able to know where he is. That was a kindness that he was giving them. And you can see it again. Absolute insanity from Exos in this round, and a well-deserved half lead for the side of Nongshim.
Now that was absolutely fantastic, but you know what? I've heard we've got a little bit of entertainment for you as we go to the halftime break.
Yes, a little bit of entertaining here, because once again, you know there needs to be a team standing strong against the crowd's favorite. It was Energy yesterday. Today it's Nongshim, and I'm joined by Daphné and Jean, French Nongshim fans. Daphné et Jean m'ont rejoint, 2 fans de Nongshim. So my first question is going to be, I'm very happy to welcome some fans here on stage. Être sur scène, qu'est-ce que ça te fait? Vas-y, décris-nous un petit peu la vue.
C'est un peu intimidant, honnêtement. Et moi, ça me fait plaisir d'être là pour Nongshim parce que je sais que dans la salle, on est moins pour eux. Et du coup, c'est pour montrer notre soutien, c'est cool.
Et on est content de t'avoir aussi. It's a little bit intimidating here on stage, but we need to make noise because there's a lot of Vitality fans, of course, in the audience. And my second question is going to be, you guys are French, so do you have any recommendations, for the esports fans that are going to be coming all over the summer? Est-ce que vous avez des recommandations du coup? Peut-être quelque chose à faire, quelque chose à voir à Paris, quelque chose à manger?
Pour voir, il y a la base, la Tour Eiffel, l'Arc de Triomphe, mais je pense que c'est bien aussi de faire le tour des quais de Seine et d'aller un petit peu sur les bateaux, etc.
Wandering around, maybe un truc que t'aimes manger, toi, de ton côté?
Pas un baguette classique, franchement, c'est très français, très cliché, mais ça reste très bon quand même tout le temps.
We have the best bread in the world, of course. Who is your favorite player? Who is your MVP in this Nongshim team? C'est qui le MVP chez vous?
Chez nous, c'est Xros. Le super clutch qui vient de mettre en plus pour terminer le half.
Et pour toi?
Moi, mon préféré c'est Ivy quand même, il est très très bon quand même, il a un énorme aim et j'adore ça.
Ivy and Extros fans, let's see if the boys can carry this game on the second map.
Thank you very much, Lou. Well, it's time to see if this story's ending here or if there's another chapter yet to be written. Vitality trailing at the halftime, and it might be intimidating up there to cheer for Nongshim, but you know what? You had an easy half cheering along. I didn't hear a lot from the Vitality fans.
No, I think that they're a team that it's impossible not to like. They're probably the nicest of all the players, but then you get in the server and you see them do some of the nastiest things you're ever going to watch in your life. I think both Exros and Ivy, good choices. But is there going to be a response again? We saw this in the defensive half of the last map. It looked like Vitality were maybe going to go into this map with a deficit. Instead, they came out with an advantage. Is it going to be the same again? They might just need another pistol. And already, Dirk under serious pressure. I'll be honest, I don't know how he's alive.
He was going out for a knife kill, but it's quickly spiraled into favor for Nongshim. It's a little bit messy. Yumpy barely survives. 22 HP, a stray bullet will take him down, and they can't hold the spike under those conditions. It's time to fall back. Still a paranoia to play with for Profek. He spotted them. The retake of ramp underway. Profek fleeing to spot them. Oh, it's a messy fight. Nongshim were both ready for that. Ivy and Francis trained in on the angle, and now it's only the low HP of Yumpy.
I think they saw him.
They've definitely seen him on that peek up. Ivy was tagged earlier, but he won't be looking for the scrap anytime soon. An immediate rotate from both parties. Yumpy a little bit late.
Might be able to catch one on the fadeaway. No, he's been
30
spotted.
seconds left.
22 HP. He would need an instant shot, and he's not going to get it. It's the pistol now under the belts of Nongshim, and they do look like they're running away with this now.
They were so quick with that as well. Ivy jumped onto the rope and then jumped off it, so he hears both hit it and thinks, well, they've both dropped. Okay. Even peeking in, looking down below for that little head peek angle, and then surprise, my guy's standing up on top waiting. Nice work by Yumpy in a decent attempt, but grouping up for Nongshim gave them the upper hand, and the reposition was perfect. That's another pistol under their belt, and I'll tell you, as I said, the crowd had been quiet. I heard them start the chant again for the second half in favor of Vitality, but once again, the quiet comes over the venue. Nongshim should have an easy time in their first few fights. In fact, all of them look incredibly simple for the squad. It's an eco from Vitality, of course.
They had the same trap, the flash initially and then the paranoia through the wall for the defender side, but they didn't get anything from it. Of course, the weaker weaponry made that quite a bit more difficult, but also the passiveness of Exros, meaning he wasn't caught by any of it. It now leaves Profek, who, I'll be honest, a couple of kills for him might be a bit of a saving grace. He's been having a pretty rough game so far. Does he check? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay. That's at least one. It's only the pistol, so not anything too damaging loss. And all of the players are pushing, by the way. Every single one of the Nongshim players have just completely left the spike. They didn't care at that point. They wanted the orb.
Well, you know he can't defuse, right? He's in front of you. So why not box him in, take him down. Grab your orbs along the way. This is definitely got a different flavor to it than the previous map where Vitality had already fought back. They found that streak of 4 rounds and nothing since. Definitely looks like a strong pick for Nongshim. And the question is, will there be a sign of life before the end? This is pretty much it. The last expected heartbeat of Vitality.
Toxins going up.
It starts to falter here.
Poison.
There will be Breeze on the horizon, and Nongshim wasting no time. Dambi's already ran up through mid, but he's taken a lot of damage.
This is a round that it's safe to say Vitality cannot afford to lose. Already backs against the wall in their opponent's map choice. It was 4-2 the last time they won a round. Since then, 8 in the other direction. Early trades back and forth, but it is Vitality that comes out on top. Of course, bonus round for Nongshim, so even keeping this one tight might be enough, but with Ivy and RB, plenty of credits in the bank, it's safe to say they're going to be going for this one.
Certainly with how the rounds have gone for them so far, they give them a decent chance chance. The pressure put onto RB. Good paranoia. They'll use it to TP as well, and I'm not sure they will have heard that.
I think so.
I think Profek was hit by the paranoia as well.
30 seconds left.
They definitely know about him now. A little bit late on the spam, but all the while he is just buying time. 20 seconds for that flank to come all the way around. Running out of time, running out of chances to get this across the line. It's got to be a more aggressive play, and well, that certainly was aggressive from RB. They know where Ivy is. He's got no time to connect these kills, and you can see Durka just flees, realizing he can win it off time alone. But Profek will at least secure Vitality a 5th round. A chance here, but a long road ahead of them.
Yeah, I think that even in that moment, the goal was to just try and take weapons away. I think they knew at that point they'd already lost the round just off the back of losing the spike in this scenario, but even still was a bonus, getting rid of 3 guns. And if they'd won that fight, it would have been a 4th. Still feels like a mountain to climb for the Vitality side, and just looking at Exros, unfortunately, there's going to be a very smug Morgan when we get back to the desk, because he has been incredible, and he has the running back online.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about this round for Vitality. Credits all put on the line for Nongshim. They have ultimates to throw at it as well. They've looked good when it comes to the buy rounds. They've got the majority of the defenders towards the A site, which means Profek stands alone. He's isolated, but he's isolated a duel to start.
Spike down B.
Not bad. Now teammates coming to help out. The spike recovered by Danby, but he's going back in. They're not giving up on Nongshim. They know there's numbers here. They are not deterred, and perhaps they should be. RB TPing to the site, being hard, but he gets the jump on Chronicle. Looks back to Durka. He's dancing around that pillar, but has no idea that death is right above him. Durka's adjusted. He detected Ivy. I don't know how. And he's left RB all alone. The spike in Durka's possession. Yumpy at his back as well. They're now together. The high-low in play. A firing squad whose only job is to execute this omen. When he steps into their sight line,
30 seconds left.
The smoke will cover him for now, but into the fight he goes, and out of the round. Vitality, another lifeline delivered, but many more needed.
I think good initial work by Profek to slow them down. I think especially just finding an angle where he couldn't be spotted by that running back. But then it is Durka. It's Durka just sort of flipping back to the player above that turns this round on his head. It looked like for a moment that was going to slip away from them. But once they get into that 2v1, solid positioning to make sure it was incredibly difficult for RB to isolate any of the angles. I also don't think his smoke helped him out too much. I understand what he was trying to do, but I think it kind of boxed him in with no angles to fight. Aggressive stop from the defense though, and well, versus a low buy, this might end up being a problem.
It's an immediate stun by Danby and the flash that came out from Exros. That is what gave them the upper hand, but oh, push comes to shove. Somehow they're still holding on. This looked like Vitality were falling, or sorry, we're crushing them, but they've fallen behind. Sayonara is desperately low, but he survives the spam of the Guardian, and indeed survives the round. Vitality, 7-10. I'm starting to believe it's possible. A 3-round gap is where this game changes.
Yeah, we've seen this already in the last map. Desperately far behind. They then manage a mass streak of rounds, and although some of these have been a little bit tighter, I'm wondering if we might see that pause coming out once again. I think the Nongshim coaching staff have been incredibly proactive. Even in the last game, it was the same, where they were in the lead and they slow things down a little. Clearly not feeling the burn just yet, but I'm looking at that operator into Durka's hand. It was a game changer on the defensive side of Ascent. But on this side, it seems like he'll be on the wrong side of the map. This is looking like an A hit for Nongshim.
Well, it's looking like they don't have much of a choice, Tom. There's no coverage outside B with full control there for Vitality. The only thing is the defense is waiting for that fight on middle, not knowing it's coming in the other direction. Yumpy taken out of the round, and the team P cancelled from Profek. Danby single-handedly got them this site, got them the plant. Wow, gotten them a huge advantage and probably forced Vitality to save because he spammed through a pit and a smoke. that part's a little bit BS. The rest of it was impressive. The last bit, more frustrating than impressive. But got to be incredibly frustrating for Vitality to now see that round drop like that.
Yeah, this is the Danby effect. I thought they were going to build in and potentially use some of the ultimates. It's only the Viper's Pit that ends up being utilized in this moment, but a more direct hit and finding the isolated man. The fact is there's at least been some delay for the defensive side so far. I think Profek, the last round, he was able to hold the line for rotations to come in. This time, it's so quick that they get rid of Yumpy that no one has an opportunity to get in to support him. There's no way anybody could have found some sort of trade without, well, the same BS spam that we saw from Danby. It's going to be another round onto the board. The pause clearly not needed just yet, and for Vitality now, with that streak coming to an end, they now have to pick themselves up again, 4 rounds behind, and their opponents only 2 from taking us to Breeze.
Toxins going up.
Well, for Vitality, as you said last round, the isolated man found the one without delay. This time, they're going to leave Profek towards the A side. A man who can escape, at least, perhaps delay with the paranoia, but not from where he is. Again, the idea from Vitality is to look for the mid-fight and to leave Durka embedded where he is. He's going to have a challenge.
He was seen.
There.
This doesn't seem worth it anymore. I was about to say, when you've been spotted through the gap in the smoke, the value of this diminishes massively. An expected mid-push almost feels like a death sentence.
They're going to flash that?
Instead, though, they seem very ready for Durka's positioning.
They were.
Danby able to bait the shot, and he's looking to try and do the same again. He's just looking to try and fight him alone. And while he's lost his life because of it, no trade to be had just yet. And cover available to help out. RB, however, has just TP'd to the other side of the map, clearly realizing that Profek had abandoned it. Given that information over by Ivy. And they'll find themselves a post plant with the defenders fairly far away.
With the time and space lost by Vitality, it's almost a good trade for Nongshim. They're a man behind, but the clock plays as their 5th man here. The dog sent through, cancelled immediately. That's so much info denied. Great spam. Ivy's done wonders here. Reading those rotations, calling for the spike to make it over here. And now stopping the information game. Vitality go in blind. They lose Profek right off rip. Sayonara's down and out as the flood in sees Vitality washed away. Durka try as he might. It looks like he has absolutely nothing to say. Nongshim 12-7. 5 chances to close this out and bring us to 3.
And this is something I've really loved about watching Nongshim, is it's just they get the piece of information they need and they will make the bold call. The bold call is to just TP into the back of that site. Go, I've spotted the rotations, I know what's going on, we can get a plant, and it's going to take them ages to have those rotations. And as you said, I feel like even the spam that he went for to deny that information, it's a bold play. If somebody swings him, takes him out, that's a problem. Instead, he's able to slow down the push, enable their own crossfire back towards the ramp, and then the players within the site are able to just bide their time. A 4v5 that looked like Nongshim had the advantage throughout. And now a last-ditch effort from the coaching staff of Vitality to try and save this map and stop them having to go to Breeze.
Yeah, this is one of the more difficult ones. 5 rounds in a row. No room for error for this squad so far, and it is starting to look like on the other side of the stage, Nongshim are on a form that just cannot be broken. Seeing Danby have this level of success, and yes, big time, I see you with your headset on, you're in. X-Ross playing the way that he is. He's doing a great job.
Who?
I hate
Big Time or X-Ross?
X-Ross,
oh,
of
okay.
course. Big Time got lucky once. Smug look in his face. Well, smug look on Nongshim's face as well. 5 chances to close this out. And Vitality definitely looking more deactivated than the last map.
You can see this again. This is something that we've seen regularly from Nongshim. You take a pause and we're going to be right in your face, right down your throat. The second these rounds begin, they send Danby up mid, but this was all just to try and pincer. We saw this in the last half. And now Dirk
ये
is the
round में
one
निकाल ही ले रहे
under
हैं.
pressure, but they've kind of bypassed him already. The site is firmly under their control. In the meantime, Sayonara has popped a showstopper that's achieved nothing. And although Dirk managed to get a free chance of success, he's completely missed the beat. 2 players already down. Sayonara desperately low, has to flee. And with time against them, now a 6th man it seems, this is looking done.
Breeze will be map number 3. It seems like we're going all the way there. 13-7.
ये
A
round Vitality को
resounding
निकालना
defeat
पड़ेगा.
dealt to Vitality in front of the home crowd. There might not be many Nongshim fans in there, but they've earned the right to get loud. This was a masterclass on Split, and it's not over yet.
Oh, very, very comfortable from, I want to say, like round 6
They
onwards. They took a pause. It looked like they were under some
Last
pressure.
match
And then they went on a
decider
streak of, I think it was like 8 rounds in a row before
कौन
we
जाएगा
finally
आगे,
saw
कौन
Vitality
जाएगा.
break back into the map. That momentum that was on their side has quickly diminished, and with the likes of Xros, Danby, everybody showing up to the party, having their moments when they needed it most, that map 3 really feels like it's anyone's game.
Great cast there and an excellent performance from Nongshim. We saw it. We heard the call from Big Time. Keep your eyes on Xros. Well, that man delivered, and he was not alone. Everybody chiming in for Nongshim. And we take a look at some of the numbers here. Xrox's performance, 22-10. ACS is over 300 and 11 first kills. How do you have a bigger impact than that on a Phoenix? I don't think you can do it.
I mean, look, he's rock solid on this agent. Since, you know, they changed around with the roles, there was an experiment. It was Francis before. Xros was on the initiator. They make these changes. They let Xros be more aggressive. They let him be the one that get these trades, and he lit up. I love Split for this team. I feel like it suits them down to the ground here much more than it does the side of Vitality. So very happy with how they played this.
Yeah, this round right here that you're looking at on the screen, it was actually a thrifty for them. Xros, being one of the main reasons why they won it out. And that thrifty actually catapulted them to end that half 8-4. And then after that, they won 8 rounds in a row here for Nongshim. That really started the momentum shift for them. And I really like to see how that kind of changed their mindset as well to just be a lot more aggressive in the server, mainly Xros.
Shout out to all the French fans. We have a jam-packed house, but that's all on the Vitality side of the stage. Our side of the stage is the Nongshim side, and it was about 50% full. They're starting to file in, and I feel like as this series is going on, Nongshim's starting to gain a little bit more fandom here in the crowd.
Look, I'm feeling good. Show me French tears. That's what I want. Zoom in because they're going home today. You know what? I predicted Vitality. I reluctantly predicted Vitality. That was stupid. That was the old me. I'm back. Nongshim win this now.
We call him Lil Rock Jr. here. As we take a look at some of the best rounds, you called it. It was the Thrifty that set them off on a big run. Let's take a look back at how they pulled that off. And is it all the Phoenix moving forward? What does Xros play in our next game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to wait and see for that. They do love that double duelist over there. But on Split, this was the round that made the magic happen. I think Vitality made a big mistake here. I think they were far too slow against the eco. They worked the map too much, really, and they didn't give themselves enough time to hit into a stacked site here.
Yeah, you can see on the clock, 4 seconds left. They can't even get that spike down. Xros peeking, getting that pick, a 4K for him. But yes, just playing that map really, really well by Nongshim, and it feels like just over and over again after those first few rounds that they started winning out. Xros also was on top of that, but so was RB. Everyone was starting to perform slowly, and they just racked up a lot of those.
Did Vitality make a mistake giving Nongshim defense early?
I mean, I think potentially yes, because I think they're very strong on it. I think Split is, you know, most naturally being very defender side. But now since the double duelist meta has come along, we see a lot more teams choosing to go for that attack to set their own tempo because it has balanced out a little bit. Ultimately, I think Nongshim very well prepared. I think the map suits their double duelist so well because it's very contained. They can bombard you with util, dominate that space. And Vitality, they couldn't get the op rolling. It's not big enough. They couldn't make that work.
Athena, as we get ready for map number 3, we want to remind the audience we're going to Breeze. If you're watching group stages, this was in every bet best of 3. Seems all of the squads are comfortable squaring up on this map. So talk to me. Is it offense? Is it defense? Because if you're looking at the attack, Vitality chooses to attack for a 3rd time in a row.
I mean, this is one of those maps that's pretty 50-50, but I like to think it's attack-sided. The reason being is because you can set yourself up for success with that utility. I think Breeze is more of a deathmatch kind of map, so you take the fights that you want to take. And I think for both these teams, too, they've performed recently pretty well on this map. Both of them having pretty good win rates on this. They both understand how they want to play it. Nongshim usually sticking towards that double duelist. And then on the other side, we have the double controller, the double innie coming in from Vitality. So I think this map is really going to come down to a lot of that firepower, which Nongshim, they have the momentum going forward. And for Vitality, if they can just come back from that.
Do I still run the Neon if I'm Dabby here on this next map?
Absolutely. He doesn't slow down on this. You will see Nongshim when they get onto that attacker half. They love that A site. That's where they want to end time and time again. Honestly, they're wholly disappointing when they go B. That doesn't work for them. That doesn't work for them. Go A. Nongshim, can you hear me? Go A.
Big time. I've seen you sad one time the entire time we've worked together, and that was when they went into a game without a Viper. Will there be Vipers on both sides of Breeze?
As a Breeze, it's a Viper must-have. I think we'll see Harbors on both sides. That's something, as the meta has developed now, you want to be able to slice up that side. And I think for Vitality, they also love that A retake. I think this is something that we might see a lot of. Nongshim want to hit A, Vitality want to retake A. It's who's going to upset the script here and have the mix-ups required to get one over on their opponents.
Athena, final time to switch your prediction if you'd like to. The fans had 76% of them choosing Vitality to win this best of 3.
Okay, I'm going to go purely based off what I know from comps, and I'm still picking Vitality. I'm
still going Vitality, big time.
I'm so sorry.
Nongshim.
No, listen.
I've changed.
We're back. It's Nongshim time. Nongshim's on defense, 3 maps in a row. Can they seal the deal and move into our Final 4? We find out after the break.
Hey guys, we're here at the STC Arena. I'm here with Tomas, and Tomas is going to tell me what a Gentlemates fan is doing here today on day 2 because they played yesterday. Why are you guys still here?
To be honest, this is an association, the Gentle Suit, and when we come on an event, we just want to support our player, but when player are eliminated or something else, we just never let seats
go empty.
Yeah, so we just bring back, see the game, watch Vitality or the teams. So we just came back and enjoy about the event.
What was yesterday had so many fans that were here and it was such a great environment. What was your favorite?
Hello Rhythm, welcome to the stream.
Yesterday, it was really insane to be honest. I did not expect that for sure. And when Prox 1v4 was really insane, as was like all the arena, the atmosphere was really insane, so it was a pleasure.
Well, the mates are always great. Thank you so much for being here and enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Gentle! Gentle! Gentle!
Chai
Play
toast.
is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
Yeah, I don't think this is supposed to look like this.
We know it's old, but it doesn't have to look like this.
Can someone please that most people won't notice? He will be all over it, he will learn everything from it, so I think that's one of his best traits.
Durka is just genuinely one of the nicest guys in the world. Even though he's a guy that has won many things, that has been right at the top of this game, and is known for being Durka, super humble, super chill, and really nice to get along with. When he gets the ball rolling, he is unstoppable. Once you just flick that confidence switch in his head, because he gets, as we would call it, an icebreaker into the game, he is able to just start picking things off, making decisions based on intuition.
And Brock now is just going to rip away Prophet and rip away the rest of the opportunity. Dirk would have to clutch here. Chronicle's still around somewhere. He needs to come in and help out. Oh my God!
He's the best smart confidence player that I've ever seen.
This is the Totem area, and it is what the Club Championship is all about. Every single winner is etched into history, having their trophies included regardless of where the competition is being held. Whether it's Riyadh, whether it's Paris, it doesn't matter, because if you win a trophy, you get not only your name on the wall alongside a title that you've won, but your trophy included in the language of the team. And for the losers, this is what it's all about. Not only do you get your key crushed by your opponent, but it gets put in to the wall as well for everybody to see right on display as a memory of the shortcomings of the competition that teams have had here at EWC. The dream, the goal, the battle is to win and lift the Club Championship trophy. For 2 years in a row, since EWC's inception in 2024, Falcons have been able to do it. But we're in Paris now. It's a different location. There are different teams, and the competition is fiercer than ever. You lose, not only does your key stay on display on the wall, but at the end of EWC 2026, another totem will be lifted. The crushed keys put into RYZEN at the bottom of it, and the winners putting their name down in history regardless of where EWC is being held.
It's another point from Starso. I don't know if he has time for this one though, Kev. It's going to be very close. Oh, that is unbelievable.
We are back live in the STC Arena for what will be the third and final match here in the quarterfinals between Vitality and this squad, Nongshim, who is representing APAC. They're doing it incredibly well and big time. You called it correctly. X-Ross, our player to watch on Split. Is he still your man to watch going into our final battle on Breeze?
Look, I think he'll be good, but I think this is a bigger map. It's much more open. I'm looking for those supportive players to really make the difference here. I want to see Ivy have those pop-off games. He's done it before. I'm feeling another one coming. He's fantastic here on Breeze.
And on the other side, Athena, we've got Vitality. Who you got eyes on?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think Chronicle, he's been having some standout moments, but I think on a map like Breeze, I'm really expecting him to play really well on that Viper, being that Senti. But honestly, I think the story here is this defense side for Nongshim. They've been so defense-sided this whole 8-4 this whole series, and they're starting once again on defense on Breeze. I'm really looking at them to be really proactive, and I think they're probably going to stick to the double duelist.
I'd be shocked if they didn't. We do have the Agent Select coming in now. This is what they love to run. Double duelist with that Harbor. They're 6-2 on this composition. Their last loss was it to G2 there in that group stage. So did they figure out a blueprint? Do Vitality have an answer here?
I actually really like Vitality's comp. I really enjoy the double controller, the double initiator, just so much info across the map. Being able to delay for so long too, you're going to be able to punish a lot of those early aggressions that the double duelist will be able to do on that opposite side, as well as on their defense. When they do switch over, it's just a lot easier of a time to be more proactive on their risk.
Can I ask about the KO on the attack here? We see the IGL Yampy running it. Why do we see the KO on his home map, Breeze?
Well, I think you get a lot of extra information, as well as some great cross-map knife lineups. He's going to look to disable that defensive stronghold that Nongshim will have there, especially that Viper, so might unlock that B-site a little bit more.
As Golden Boy would say, are you ready? On the mic, we got Mitch and the ugly boy, better known as Tom Biz.
And as D-God would say,
what the hell?
I'm absolutely ready. I'm excited for this game. He always says that. Let's get into the matchup as we see Vitality and Nongshim clash on the third map, Breeze. For Nongshim, what a map they're coming off of. Split was complete control for them, full confidence as well. Looking at players like XROS still playing that Phoenix to carry that same fire through that they had on the previous map, and already you can see there's going to be a big battle here in mid. They found RB, but that man is not alone. XROS trying to bait them in so Danby can take that kill from the side, but there's the knife landing that the desk was talking about. A bit of extra information, and they know exactly where to crunch in on. Vitality dotting their I's, crossing their T's, but losing a couple of kills for free. It's very close when Francis gets a chance like that, but now Ivy's got a 1v3.
It felt like the chance might have just faded away now that the spike can make its way to the other side. And that's going to be enough for Chronicle to close. A team ace for Vitality. Everybody showing up in this pistol round. And I think an important breakback. That last map felt like they got choked out of it after what was a pretty deadly start. And then for them to come into this one and look fairly comfortable in this pistol round. Of course, you always know with Nongshim there's going to be some pressure put into the middle. Some aggression that might disrupt a little bit.
Go.
Yeah! Instead, though, it doesn't seem like Vitality have gone anywhere. 1-0, not going to be much invested into this one by the side of Nongshim. But their plan seems to be to put pressure into mid once again. And hey, Chronicle, he might have done damage to Danby, but other than that, they're all good.
Ivy's flown under the radar for a moment, but being seen in the end. Still, they end up with a pick. Fish in a barrel on the fire through RB. Putting us down to what is now a 5v2, and what in the world? Vitality have lost what should have been a simple and easy round. And after how this started, the confidence that was there in the pistol, how clean every fight was, they didn't leave a single corner unchecked. And this time, they are destroyed.
Look at the kills that are coming through. It's like people are cheating. What? 2 just straight spams through smokes, and then 2 crazy shots from Danby. One of these teams had an eco going into this round, and it's quite hard to tell which one.
What a shame that we have these observers. How could they not see those kills coming from RB? Disgraceful. That's ridiculous. And Nongshim gift. Oh, Ivy! They've only got pistols for God's sake, but the round that they just had, then he's hitting clean ones like that. Okay, there will be some cost to this at least. Yumpy, nice flash, and even then, XROS ate that flash, full blinded even after the kill. That is a crazy start for Nongshim.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I'm still recovering from round number 2. Like, just 2 blind fire shots through smoke, and then you got this to add up to. Sure, it's against low buys, but let's pretend like, even if it wasn't a low buy, he would have killed them anyway. It would have been exactly the same. He headshot everyone. Didn't even really need to in this round, but they are feeling it. Oh, I'm sure Vitality are feeling the pressure. The last hometown heroes, the French organization of Vitality, who will want to be getting as many of those club points as possible. It's not just about Valorant when it comes to them.
Standing ahead.
And for Nongshim, the last representative of Pacific, they are fighting tooth and nail, and already Ivy again surviving on the site, but the trades have been there. Alert position from RB spotted, and the B site take looking stellar.
They've made it in, and the plant's being found, but they've stepped into the operator. Danby and XROS wasting no time to put this back even. Something attempted, and at least for the start, it's something won. Profek,
what is he
under
doing?
pressure. I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone play this game like Danby does. And Nongshim, one man stands in their way. It's Profek to carry Vitality, kicking and screaming to 2.
It really is an insane round. There's a moment where I should have said, oh, there's no way that Nongshim could win it. Then there was a moment, there's no way they could lose it. So I guess we kind of ended up balanced. I don't know if it feels that way. A 4v2 that turns into a 2v1 that turns into a guy with 2 HP hitting the last second headshot and getting rid of both Danby and Exros, and you can see two very different reactions from the coaching staff. One excited, the other very much relieved.
Well, this is it. A best of one, essentially, that comes down to whether you proceed at EWC or whether your flights home are being booked in the next hour for Nongshim. Making that last round incredibly close, winning out an eco. It's been a great start to this map, and now they've dropped Durka. Yes, he damaged RB, but Nongshim, it's not an eye for an eye. They take both.
It's been a bit of a rough start for Durka. He was lights out in the first few rounds of the last map. In map number 1, it took him some time to get going. Should be a very clear connection of the drone, but doesn't look like Damn. He gives it. Damn, okay, at least it was Yumpy. He will live to tell the tale. If that was anybody else, they were dead to rights. Even still, they looked to scurry away. Maybe not. Yumpy clearly felt like he'd hard done his opponent. Gave him another bite of the cherry. Profik again. Sayonara as well. And now Dambi goes running back in. Ultimate pop, but they don't even know if he's going to use it. Has the operator still in hand. The B site open for business. And a couple of high-impact ultimates available for this attack. Side, but caught using utility. That leaves Sayonara alone. He hasn't been having the best day so far, but damn, we know he can clutch.
Well, Profek died for this plant. He put the cove up, the protection there to keep Sayonara alive, but now there's no more help for this man. He stands alone against Dambi coming from main. Dambi's seen him turn the other way. The timing could be there. The reveal gives it away. Sayonara, time ticking decently in his favor. The shock dart for now to do some damage, but the defuse being stuck, and yeah, it's not going to be enough this time. Hoping that they would give him respect, that they would pull off the defuse to go and take the fight, but no. Nongshim have one goal and one goal alone. It's rounds on the board, and it's mission success.
Again, just the start from Dambi.
He's ridiculous.
The timing of Francis's peak as well was unfortunate for Profek, and then, yeah, as you said, they just didn't give him anything. They forced him into a position where he'd have to fight two of them at once. Again, what looked like an opportunity for a good early start for Vitality now sees them with next to nothing to play with Durka.